What's up, my people? It's CASSPORTS again. Now, this is a sports channel, so let's talk some sports. As usual, before I begin, let me give a shout out to, excuse me. Let me give a shout out to the JBT community, Just Boxing Talk. We're a group of people that just love to talk boxing, and we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast, channel, anything like that. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. Gregory Pratt, what's up this afternoon, GP? How you doing? Thomas Hill, what's happening, T Hill? How was everybody's Christmas? Hope you got everything you wanted. And if you didn't get everything you wanted, I hope you got everything you needed. Well, let me see. The day after Christmas, what are we going to do today? We had the big undisputed fight this morning. Monster and Arlington Palace. Talk about that in 1 minute. The profile for today will be the Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. I found this article about the history. I know I talked about the history of boxing before, but I found this article about the history of boxing in the United States, and it is just does justice to the maturation of boxing in this country. It's literally goes decade by decade telling the story of boxing in the United States. I promise you'll like it. It's just great. But the Monster becomes the fourth person in the four-belt era to become undisputed in two weight classes, okay? Joining Terrence Crawford, the GOAT Clarissa Shields, and Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor actually still holds both those belts. I mean, holds all four of those belts in two weight classes. She's currently the champion at lightweight and junior welterweight. I'm not going to rant about that today, about how she don't get stripped, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, the Monster becomes the fourth person in the four-belt era to be undisputed in two different weight classes. What's up, Mike Ryan? How you doing today? How was Christmas? Happy holidays to everybody. Because this New Year is coming in fast. So if you're not ready, it's coming anyway. So we don't have any boxing until the 7th. Nothing this Saturday. No show box this Wednesday. Tomorrow, no boxing this Saturday. I know I'm going to be watching a lot of old fights over the next week and a half. Yeah, but the Monster got it done this morning. I didn't know it was 3 o'clock till the last minute. Because normally it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock, right? Just happened to be looking at something and I saw 3 a.m. I was like, 3 a.m. I stayed up and watched it. I saw the Monsters fight. I didn't see many of the other ones. And then they did that big long thing on the Monster. And I didn't watch that either. But yeah, I figured he would do it, Yep. So he's in 4 belts, 2 different weight classes. He stopped Tapales in 10 this morning. He added the IBF and the WBA. He already had the WBC and the WBO. Yeah. He was previously undisputed at bantamweight. So you now, of course, during the conversation, going to start who should be number 1, Crawford or Inoue, Now, to me, those 2 fighters are very close in skills, You say you are not impressed? You a super fan of the monster? Okay. Yeah, I didn't see all the fight I saw was the monster, Gregory. Yeah. But the conversation's gonna start now between who should be number 1 pound for pound, Bud or Inoue. Now I think they're very close in skills, And when I get 2 fighters that close in skills and I can't distinguish between who should be at what position, who should be in front of the other, I go to resume for a tiebreaker, and I would say I would get a resume to Bud. Yeah, I would get a resume to Bud because Monster, he's got Donaire, he's got Cool Boy, and Tapales, but not much after that, So I would have still have Bud number 1, and anywhere close to, like a 1A, Yeah, but I believe Bud number 1 for right now on the pound list. Plus, I want to see Monster come out of Japan and do this, man. I mean, he's the goods, but he's getting that, all at home cooking, man. Fight somewhere else and do this. It would be like Bud fighting in Omaha every fight, Come on, Monster. Go somewhere where you can't do that stacking, and gotta have a vital blood testing. Random. Where you can't tell them on a random test you're not ready to take it, But hey, he got the job done and you can't take it away from him. He's 2 belt undisputed. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about what actually happened in Inoue versus Tapales, but let's look at the rest of the card real quick. Let's see who was on it. Okay, so get ready for some name butchering because it was all mostly Japanese fighters. So I told you, if your name ain't Brown, Smith, Jones, Ford, then I can't pronounce it. Okay, but you had Seiya Tsutsumi. I don't think I was too bad on that one. Just syllabalize it out. Seiya Tsutsumi. He beat Kazuki Anaguchi. That was bantamweight. He won by 10-round unanimous decision. Then Andy Harioka beat Sebastian Diaz. TKO in the 5th round. Junior welterweights. Suzuki Taki defeated Mario Diaz. Second round knockout. Super bantamweight division. Kanamu Sakama. He beat John Paul Gabinilis. And that was what did he? Okay, that was in the flyweight division. I think it was a decision. I'm not sure what the result was. I know Sakama won it. Okay, I don't know whether it was a knockout or decision. And then Fuga Umetsu beat Shiguru Shikawa. 4th round TKO. Featherweight. Rikiya Sato beat Kazuki Endo. It was a 4th round unanimous decision. Featherweight. And they were 2-0, you know, just getting started. Umatse is 2-0, just getting started. And then Rikawa Sato beat Kisuke Endo. That was his first fight, so he's 1-0. That was a four-rounder, unanimous decision, lightweights. And Naoya Inoue, of course, you know, he got stopped Marlon Tapales in the 10th round. And that was, what was that? Junior featherweight? Yeah. Okay. Now, Inoue beat Paul Butler a year ago to become undisputed at 118. And he ain't wasting no time cleaning out 122, you know? Nah, I thought Tapales did better than Cool Boy. You know, Monster smashed him in 8 rounds. He knocked Tapales down in the 4th round, but he recovered pretty good. But Inoue caught him with a couple of heavy right hands in the 10th round, and it hurt him bad, and he couldn't respond to the count well enough. And that was the end of it. Inoue has close to a 90% knockout rate, too. But he is not just a power puncher. But he has carried his power up through the weight classes with him, though, because he was, what did he start, like 108? Something like that. Yeah. So he's carried his power up due to his skills and his ability to set his opponents up, put him in positions where he can maximize his power. Yeah. And now early in the fight, Inoue was catching Tapales with some heavy punches, and it looked like it was going to be an early night for a minute there. But like I say, Tapales recovered well after that 4th round knockdown. And he had the shoulder roll working for a minute there, and the jab, snaky like jab working. But then the monster, you know, started doubling up on them right hands, and eventually Tapales went back to the high guard, but Monster just beat the fight out of him. That's all it was to it. After the fight, the Monster said he plans to stay at 122 and defend his titles in 2024. And I think the next fight for him would be Akman-Daliev, you know. He lost to Tapales, but he got back in the win column, and it might be Monster's next opponent if he's gonna stay at 122. Remember that, Akman-Daliev, okay? He won his last fight. I think it was around August. Well, recently he had a fight. Yeah. So he'd be a good next opponent. Yeah. Y'all only seen the last fight on the card. Well, I thought anyway. They had fights after that. Oh, right before the main. Okay. Was fire. Yeah. Then they did that little thing on Monster. I think that took too long. That's when I fell asleep, and then I woke back up. Him and Tapales was fighting. Yeah. Yeah, ESPN is crazy about Monster. I guarantee you, they already got him number 1 over Bud. Once the final bell sounded and the referee and that fight ended, Inoue was instantly number 1 over Bud on ESPN. You know that. You know how the ESPN carries. Complexion is part of the criteria they go by. I'm just keeping it 100, you know. Just look at their list. You know? Still got Tyson Fury in the top 5. He just got beat by a guy making his first debut fight in boxing. Knocked him down. And arguably beat him. But he's still in the top 5. ESPN, that is. But yeah, it's a nice article about the history of boxing in the United States. Does it justice, man. It goes decade by decade. Very interesting. I promise you'll enjoy it. Christmas was beautiful weather up here in Maryland. Man, it was a beautiful day. And I had a great day. With the family, of course. You know. Exchange a few gifts. But we don't put no big emphasis on gift giving in my family. We put the emphasis on being together, having a nice meal, you know. That's when I'll talk about you. If that meal, Christmas meal ain't right, you know, I ain't worrying about no presents and what you give me and all. I'll talk about you if that meal ain't right. You know, but yeah, it was nice, very nice. My grandkids still here, matter of fact. I told them don't bother me for the next couple of hours. What's up, Thomas Hill? Yeah, we got the Day of Reckoning in the books this weekend, a smashing success. We had the Monster this morning, one of the best in the game right now. And we don't have nothing else until the 7th. So like I said, I'll be watching a bunch of old fights between now and then. I think I'm gonna watch the Thriller in Manila tonight. Ali Frazier 3. Man, I think I'm up in like the 20s the amount of times I watched that fight. Might be more than that. Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, you want to watch an action-packed fight, that's the one. But yeah, we're going to get into Roberto Duran today, the Hands of Stone. That's my second best fighter, by the way. Ali is number 1, Roberto Duran is number 2. That no Moss fight hurt me bad, man. Took me some months to get over that. Yeah, when he said no, when he waved his hand and walked away. What's going on? Then the referee stopped out. What's going on? But he came back and redeemed himself. I think he got titles in like 3 more weight classes after that. You know, he got 54, 60, 68. I know he fought at 175, but I'm not sure if Duran got a title up. But I know he got at least 3 more titles in 3 different weight classes. And didn't retire until he was 50. Yeah. I think he got in a bad car accident or something. But we'll go into it. That's what forced him to retire. But he was 50 years old, man. Still fighting professionally. The Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. In the decade of the 70s, he went 54-1. He ruled the 70s. At a time where heavyweight, it was all about heavyweights, Roberto Duran was wreaking havoc down at lightweight. Yes. 54-1. But we're going to talk about it in a little while. Yeah, Jay was on this morning, GP. That was great to see him. I didn't even know. Because I checked for his thumbnail, like, after the Monster fight, he still didn't have it up. You know how you had it upcoming? So I said, oh, man, Jay ain't coming again. Then about 8:30, I'm just surfing through, and there he was. Jay Hardcore, back in the building. Yeah, I got in there. Yes. I knew he was coming back one day this week. Hey, has anybody seen Bare Knuckles in any other chats? Because he was supposed to go live Friday, but he didn't show. I haven't heard anything from him since. Anybody seen him anywhere? T Hill, any other chats? Have you seen Bare Knuckles around? I hope he's okay. Yeah, because he usually comes in mine every day, but I haven't seen him. And he didn't go live Friday night. He was, you know, we was on my show Friday talking about it, getting ready for it, and then he didn't go. And I haven't seen him since. He comes in mine every day, so he didn't come in Sunday. So I don't know. I mean, one brother comes back and then another one disappears. Yeah. You talking about Bill Knuckles, Gregory? Or Jay? Yeah, Jay did say he was coming back tonight. Yeah. So he's back on his regular schedule. Spin the block at 8. Yep. That is great news. Mr. Jay Hardcore, man. You know, gotta have my dose of Jay Hardcore in the morning. Get me pumped up and going ready for mine in the afternoon, you know? Yeah. But he's back on schedule. Okay, so you did talk to Bare Knuckles? They put him on pause for a couple of days. Okay. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. So everybody's right on track. Let me take a drink of water and look at this history of boxing in the United States. A short history of boxing in the United States. Ooh, that water's good. It's really water today, too. Vibe. I'm off till the 2nd after New Year's. Nice long vacation. I ain't do nothing but sit around the house, though. That's the best vacation you can get, sit around the house. Just going away and traveling, that's just like work, man. Bruce Gas, what's up? Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more in the building. Happy holidays, Bruce Gas. How did your Christmas turn out? Like I was telling the fellas, I hope you got everything you wanted. And if you didn't get everything you wanted, I hope you got everything you needed. Okay, we're going to look at a short history of boxing in the United States. It's a very interesting article. It goes decade by decade. Holds your attention. Straight through. I'm going to hear my grandkids moving around. So I'm not to be disturbed for the next couple hours. Okay. Short history of boxing in the United States. The sport of boxing has been an integral part of American culture for well over 100 years. Even when its popularity experienced low points in history, plenty of men and women still took great interest in watching and participating. The sport was never going to disappear, and it never will. The sweet science has catalyzed new interest in many people and kept countless others from going to or returning to prison. Yep. Now, there's much more to it than just two people hitting each other in the face, okay? It takes a lot of practice to develop the agility, quickness, guile, and techniques necessary to be successful in the ring. Yes, it does. Now, it is said that Irish immigrants introduced boxing to the United States as they migrated to the Northeast throughout the 1860s and 1870s, gaining prominence in cities like New York and Boston during the last quarter of the 19th century, and fought with only bare knuckles. Yep. Now, at that time, there were no state-sanctioned bare knuckle fights. Excuse me. Bouts were organized and champions were recognized by the popular men's lifestyle magazine, National Police Gazette. In 1867, the first set of codified boxing rules to mandate the use of gloves was established in London, England, known as the Queensberry Rules, and was adopted in the United States in 1889. Okay. John L. Sullivan was the last bare knuckle heavyweight champion and the first with gloves under the new rules defeating. Okay, he was the last bare knuckles champion and he was the first under the new rules, defeating James Corbett in 1892. As the sport gained more prominence, the Amateur Athletic Union, AAU, was established on January 21st, 1888. The AAU held its first event in April, overseeing boxing, fencing, and wrestling competition. In 1900, New York State passed the heavily restricted Lewis Law, whose real aim was to effectively eradicate the sport entirely. Now, the new law effectively banned prize fighting and other fights unless the two competitors belonged to an exclusive athletic club and were held in private venues. Very restricted. But they did away with that. That didn't last long. Fortunately, states in the western United States were a lot more lenient and tolerable with allowing boxing matches to take place, which played a major role in keeping the sport alive. Okay. So the Lewis law was restricted, but the states in the West were a lot more lenient. That's what kept everything going back in the early days. During this era, champions were determined by the popular consensus expressed in newspapers. Okay. Now, boxing in the roaring 1920s. That's what I was talking about, decade by decade. Skywalker, what's happening? What you on your lunch break, Tim? You on your lunch break? Skywalker, box CEO in the building. Salute, bro. Good to see you. I know you say you normally listening while you're working. Skywalker Box Hill does those fire videos from up in the sky. That's what he does for a living. And I've seen him up on the sides of buildings interviewing co-workers. Fire. You haven't checked them out? You got to check them out. Skywalker Box. Salute. Okay. Oh, you got sick, so you called in. Yeah, I'm off till the 2nd. You know, next year. Well, after New Year's. Okay, we just talking about a short history of boxing in the United States. I found this article that just goes decade by decade, and it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Now we're talking about boxing in the roaring 1920s, decade of the 20s. Okay, now remember that old very restrictive Lewis law? In 1920, the Lewis law was repealed and replaced by the Walker law, which established the New York State Athletic Commission, NYSAC, okay, 1920, and implemented various rules and regulations that were in the best interest of the fighter's safety and to make the sport more palatable towards a broader audience, okay? So the Lewis law is now gone, replaced by the Walker law. Changes included fighting 15 rounds for title fights. Because, you know, before that, rounds ended when somebody went down, you know. They fought 30, 40, 50 rounds. Joe Gans fought 44 rounds one time. He broke his hand around the 35th round, fought the last 9 with a broken hand. He still won. So the Walker law cut it down to 15 rounds, okay, which was good, okay. 15 rounds for title fights. They mandated medical personnel to be present for the entire show and banning certain moves like headbutting. Because one time in boxing, you could headbutt, you could throw down, you could kick while he was down. That was more like wrestling, but yeah. So the Walker law banned headbutting and others, you know, crazy stuff that you used to be allowed to do. Okay. Now the following year, 1921, the National Boxing Association, NBA, was established, which comprised 13 states. And remember, the NBA later changed its name to the WBA, okay, or the World Boxing Association. So the World Boxing Association was established in 1921 as the National Boxing Association, the NBA, okay? Now, yeah. Later changed its name to the WBA in 1962, which is what it is today. And it's one of the leading boxing promotions in the world today. I guess they meant sanctioning bodies. It's not a promotion company, right? One of the leading sanctioning bodies. Well, one of the top 4 that we recognize today. Okay, boxing gained immense popularity because of the new changes. Yeah, those were all good changes. The sport rose to prominence once radio stations began broadcasting the fights. And it was typical to see several thousand people in attendance for major events, okay? Now, Mike Masick, what's up, bro? How you doing? We're going over a history of boxing decade by decade. I think it's a very interesting article. But how you doing today, bro? Your Christmas turn out okay? That's good. Okay, let's get back into this. For Mike Masick in the building. Salute, my brother, Mike Masick. Okay, now. Okay, it was typical to see several thousand people in attendance at the major events, and they had started to broadcast fights on the radio now. Okay. Now, Jack Dempsey, who was the heavyweight champion from 1919 to 1926, became a household name and was known as one of the big five in American sports, joining the likes of baseball player Babe Ruth, tennis player Bill Tilden, golfer Bobby Jones, and football player Red Grange. Yeah. So boxing was becoming into the mainstream now, 1920s. Boxing was quickly becoming mainstream and accepted as a legitimate sport in the public eye. In 1923, Chicago Tribune sports editor Arch Ward was instrumental in creating the Golden Gloves of America. The organization was initially created for holding competitive competitions between amateur fighters from Chicago and New York, where the sport was most popular, those two cities, okay? That's where the Golden Gloves started, with Chicago and New York fighters, okay? Keep losing my place. It later changed its name in 1962 to the National Golden Gloves and remains the pinnacle of amateur boxing competition to this day. National Golden Gloves. Okay, so now we move to the 1930s. Boxing in the 1930s. Just as the sport started gaining in popularity, it took a major hit after the stock market crash in 1929. As the country went through a depression for the rest of the decade, professional boxers also experienced a massive reduction in payouts due to the crippled economy. However, thanks to a highly competitive heavyweight division, the sport was kept alive by entertaining fighters such as Max Smelling, Max Baer, and Joe Louis, who became the champion in 1937 and held the title until his retirement in 1949. Louis is still the only boxer in history to hold a world title for the entirety of a single decade. Still the only fighter to go one entire decade as champion. Joe Louis. Nobody else has ever done that before or since. Okay? And that was from 1937 to 1949. So he held it for an entire decade of the 40s, but he got it in 37. Okay. Now let's move to the 40s. Boxing in the war-torn 1940s. The world was never the same after Nazi Germany invaded Poland in 1939, and the United States was in shock after the infamous bombing of Pearl Harbor by Japan on December 7th, 1941. Yep, I remember that. No, I wasn't there. I just read about it. I remember. I said I remember it like I was there when it happened in 1941. Yeah, read about it in the history books. Guess you also, damn, Cass, how old are you? You remember Pearl Harbor, 1941. Let's go on. The country shifted its focus on the war effort in most title fights. Okay. The country shifted its focus on the war effort, and most title fights during the next 3 years were suspended. Wow. Many fighters, including Lewis, joined the military and fought in the war. Wow. Now, television was still in its infancy at that time, but stations took advantage of the low cost it took to broadcast the fights compared to other sports. Okay. Even though there were very few title fights, boxing fans were still entertained by highly competitive 10-round bouts, and the sport grew even more popular. Boxers like Sugar Ray Robinson, Rocky Graziano, I got him coming up too on my profile, Graziano. Boxers like Sugar Ray Robinson, Rocky Graziano, Archie Moore, and Jake LaMotta soon became stars of the sport, with LaMotta and Robinson developing a fierce rivalry, fighting 5 times in 3 years. And they actually had a 6th fight too. Yep. Murderer's Row. Throughout much of the 1940s, 8 African-American boxers named Charles Burley, Eddie Booker, Jack Chase, the Coco Kid, Burt Lytle, Lloyd Marshall, Aaron Wade, and Holman Williams were heavily avoided by many other prominent boxers of the era, including Sugar Ray Robinson, who avoided Burley. It must be bad if Sugar Ray Robinson avoided them. Wow. BN Boxing News. What's happening? Salute. BN Boxing News in the building. absolute be in boxing news. We're talking about a short history of boxing in the United States, decade by decade. Very interesting article. Okay. Now we're in the 40s. Talk about Murderous Row. Okay. This guy, all 8 of these African-American boxers were heavily avoided. One of them was even avoided by Sugar Ray Robinson himself. Okay. Now, 6 of them never received title shots because of corrupt management and oftentimes their skin color. Instead, they had to fight each other at times just to stay active. Lord Marshall, the Coco Kid, Eddie Booker, and Charles Burley were eventually inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. The only title holders out of the group were Jack Chase, who held the California State Heavyweight and Middleweight belts, and Eddie Booker, who lost his middleweight title to Chase, who was another one of the Murderous Row. Because like I said, just to get fights, they had to fight each other. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the 1950s. Boxing in the 1950s, okay. As the golden age of economic expansion in the country was taking off, so too was the sport of boxing. Many boxers who fought in the war made their returns to the ring, eager to take advantage of increased paydays brought about by a booming economy. Fighters and their managers knew that televised fights were the way to make big money and increase the chances of cashing in on endorsement deals, right? Television was getting big time in the sport then by the 50s, okay? Just black and white though. It was common for big name fighters to get acting roles and date the hottest Hollywood stars, yeah. LaMotta and Robinson fought each other for the last time in 1951. 6th fight, but went on to fight many others throughout the decade and into the next. Now, Sugar Ray won 5 of the 6, but all of them was very close fights. Very close. A couple of them was questionable decisions. Okay. Like LaMotta said, they gave Sugar Ray 1 fight because he was going in the army the next day. But that was quite a robbery there, man. 6 times. We never see nothing like that again. I doubt it. Okay. Considered by some to be the greatest heavyweight of all time, Rocky Marciano is still the only undefeated champion in history. Retiring in 1955, holding the record of 49-0 with 43 knockouts. The Rock. I did a profile on him. Bad man. The Rock. The golden age of boxing was in full swing, although many of the fights during that era were marred with corruption and mafia influence. Yeah. Talked about that the other day too. Remember the mafia influence? That was a trip. Okay, now let's go into the 1960s. See what's happening. Boxing in the 1960s. All right. In 1962, the NBA changed its name to the WBA, World Boxing Association. Okay, remember? Started back in 1921. They changed to the WBA, which is currently known now in 1962. Okay. Now, members from the WBA and 11 boxing representatives from other countries met in Mexico City on Valentine's Day in 1963. And then the World Boxing Council was formed, WBC, the next year, 1963. Okay? So the NBA came to the WBA in 62 and the WBC was formed in 63. Old Mauricio. That's the one old Mauricio runs today. As boxing was trying to clean up its public image, a young heavyweight sensation named Cassius Clay started making a lot of noise, both in and out of the ring. Right? In and out of the ring. At just 22 years old, a few months before changing his name to Muhammad Ali, he beat Sonny Liston to capture the WBA, WBO, New York State Athletic Commission, and Ring Magazine heavyweight world titles in February 1964. I was 5 years old. 4, going on 5. Ali was incredibly vocal about his opposition to the United States' involvement in North Vietnam, a tiny country in Southeast Asia. 9 fights and 3 years later, in 1967, he was arrested for refusing to follow conscription orders into the U.S. Army. Less than 2 months later, he was convicted in 21 minutes for violating the selective service laws and stripped of his titles, and boxing licenses suspended from every commission in the United States. Okay. Boxing in the 1970s, okay? The 1970s ushered in what is arguably the best decade for the heavyweight division in history. Yeah, the 70s was serious for that heavyweights. Ali was reinstated and won the North American Boxing Federation, NABF, heavyweight title in December 1970 by defeating Oscar Bonavena. The NABF was pretty big at one time. I don't even hear about it anymore. But back around that time, it was a serious title. Yeah. Right up the WBA and WBC, matter of fact. But you never hear about that anymore. Ali's conviction was overturned the following year, in which he suffered the first career loss to Joe Frazier in an attempt to regain the 3 other titles that were stripped from him 4 years ago. Yep, it was the first fight. The fight of the century. That's what they called that one. Ali later regained his titles from George Foreman in October 1974 during the famous Thriller in Manila. No. That was the Rumble in the Jungle. That was not the Thriller in Manila. That's wrong. Ali and Foreman was the Rumble in the Jungle. Okay, 1974. But later lost them to Leon Spinks in February 1978. Him and Frazier was the Thriller in Manila. He advanced his loss half a year later to regain 2 of the 3 titles back. He only fought again 2 more times before retiring in 1981, both of which he lost. There were many epic fights between other heavyweight greats such as Joe Frazier, Larry Holmes, George Foreman, Floyd Patterson, Ken Norton, Leon Spinks, and Chuck Webner. The latter of whom became the inspiration behind the Rocky movie that was first released in 1976. Yep, Chuck Webner was the inspiration for Rocky. Now, George Foreman first retired in 1977 at the age of 28 after losing to Jimmy Young. And then he wouldn't compete again for 10 years. Boxing in the 1980s. After Muhammad Ali's retirement, the sport was devoid of exciting and bombastic figures to draw a crowd. The heavyweight division frequently rotated title holders until an undefeated knockout artist named Mike Tyson defeated champion Trevor Berbick in the second round. Berbick looked scared from the beginning of the stare down as the referee was going over the rules one last time before the starting bell. Yeah, I remember that. And he ended up just trying to survive 36 minutes of brutal power from Tyson. Okay. Yeah, Klitschko. And forget him, Gregory. Tyson was 28-0 with 26 knockouts and landed his signature left hook that left Berbick unable to gain his equilibrium as he fell down twice while trying to stand back up. Yeah, the fight was over. The boxing world would have a new king for the rest of the decade, and Tyson soon became an international sensation. Boxing in the 90s. The 90s began with one of the biggest upsets in sports history when Tyson was knocked out by James Buster Douglas for the WBA, WBC, and IBC heavyweight titles. Now, I think the WBO was around then, but the other 3 didn't recognize it yet. The IBF, WBA, and WBC didn't recognize it as a major sanctioning body yet. But I think it started in 1988, WBO, okay? The shock waves that jostled Tyson's brain permeated through his skull and reverberated throughout the rest of the boxing world. 2 years later, Tyson found himself in a courtroom and sentenced to 6 years in prison for rape. He served less than 3 years before being released with tattoos of Mao Zedong, Che Guevara, and tennis player Arthur Ashe, which added even more to the public's confusion. Tyson went on to win the WBC heavyweight title in March 1996, but lost it to Evander Holyfield in November. The 2 fought again in June the following year, but Tyson was disqualified for biting off a chunk of Holyfield's ear. The only other time he received the title shot again was in June 2002 against champion Lennox Lewis, who beat him by knockout in the 8th round. Okay. Intense rivalries also developed in the heavyweight division between Riddick Bowe, Evander Holyfield, and Lennox Lewis, who were all champions at some point in the decade. Lewis unified the division of months before the royal rang in the new millennium. Now, the current era, 2000s to now. 2000s to present day. Yeah. 5018, he sure did. IBO? IBO? Yeah, I remember it was an IBO. But I don't think they turned into the WBO. The WBO was formed when they was voting for a new president of the WBA. And I forgot the guy's name. Bob something didn't get it. He was the president of the USBA. Remember them? So, and that wasn't that big or anything. So when he didn't get when president of the WBA, he formed the WBO, right? Yeah. And they went through a whole mess. I went through that, remember, the WBO? They were a mess. That guy, his son, and a couple other officials ended up going to prison for the nonsense they was doing. Yeah. Okay, the current era, 2000s to present day. I don't know what happened to the IBO. I'm going to have to look into that. With the new millennium underway, boxing was beginning to lose its appeal to the general public. It sure was. In the 1990s, fights started becoming more exclusive, as they were only available on pay-per-view or premium channels like HBO and Showtime. Yep. Mixed martial arts was becoming more popular, since it was aired on channels like Spike TV and Fuel, which were oriented towards retaining a predominantly male demographic. The big MMA events were still available on pay-per-view, but the sport started passing boxing in terms of both participation and popularity because of the fast-paced and unpredictable nature of it all. Fast-paced, unpredictable nature of it, okay? So MMA was beginning to be more popular than boxing in the early 2000s. Remo, what's up, Remo? Just boxing talk, that's all. On a Tuesday afternoon. The Monster became the fourth person in the four-belt era to be two-time undisputed this morning, joining Bud Crawford, the GOAT, Clarissa Shields, Katie Taylor, and now the Monster. Okay, I still got Bud number one though because you know him and Monster are very close in skills, but then I go to Resume as a tiebreaker, and I give Bud the resume. So I got him one, Monster two. You know. That's just my opinion on it. Yeah. I bet you ESPN put Monster number one the minute that fight ended. You know how they roll. You got your ears on, Remo? Cool. Okay, we're coming to the end, excuse me, of this boxing. Let me take a drink of water. We're coming to the end of this article. I might save the Hands of Stone until tomorrow. I don't know. Well, that's good. Now we're in the 2000s to present day boxing. Talking about how when this decade began, MMA was passing boxing in popularity. Okay, and where was it? I was right there. Okay. After a decade of precariousness and demonization, the public finally started viewing it as a sport that was more primal and alluring, while boxing was viewed as long and kind of boring at times, which was largely due to a lack of star power. Yes. After Lewis retired in 2003, veterans such as Roy Jones Jr. and Floyd Mayweather Jr. were a few stars in the boxing world, but hardly known to anyone else. They continued their dominance in the sport for the next 2 decades. There were hopes among boxing fans that the long-awaited welterweight matchup in May 2015 between Mayweather Jr. and Filipino champion Manny Pacquiao could revitalize the sport. Although it sold the most pay-per-view buys in history with 4.6 million in the United States, the fight itself was underwhelming. After 5 years of hype and anticipation, it didn't do much to improve the interest of a new generation of fight fans. That's what we was talking about Sunday, Remo. These guys need to go ahead and get those fights on when they need to get them on, like you was talking about Tank and Devin. Just what this just said. The 5 long years we waited on Mayweather and Pacquiao, it ended up being underwhelming to what, it just wasn't what we thought it was going to be. It was 5 years too late. That's exactly what you were saying. Tank and Devin need to go ahead and fight. Now get it over with. Don't wait 5 years from now. Exactly what we was talking about. Over 2 years later, in November 2017, Mayweather Jr. squared off with MMA superstar Conor McGregor in a matchup that resulted in 4.3 million buys, just in the United States. Now, there have been attempts by major networks like CBS to reintroduce boxing into the mainstream, but one of the people who has had an impact on getting a new demographic of people interested, we hate to say this, but that person is Jake Paul. Despite Paul being considered by many to be a loudmouth troll who is an abomination to boxing, it's safe to say that he has brought more attention and crossover appeal to the sport than almost anyone else in the internet age. Definitely more than these current boxers. Paul has been, except for Tank. Yeah, can't forget Tank. Paul has been very selective in choosing his opponents, just like the boxers are. Ain't no different than the boxers. Very selective. The majority of his opponents have been retired MMA fighters with wrestling and jiu-jitsu backgrounds. His victories over them have infuriated many legit fans to the sport, to the point where they started focusing more on the sport of boxing again, just to see him lose. I don't watch Jake Paul fight. I watched him fight Tommy Fury because I figured he was going to lose that one. So they right. You watch it to see him lose. But I know he's not going to lose any of them other ones, right? So I don't watch. Which he did by decision to Tommy Fury in 2023. But Paul has also been vocal in pushing for an increased pay structure with all combat sport athletes. And all of his opponents have received massive payouts. And he's been good for the women too. He got another, he promoted Franchon and Shadeja. And he got Amanda Serrano next month. But he always put himself on the card. Notice that. Okay, boxing gloves and the resurgence of bare knuckle boxing. Now, the concept of boxing gloves was around for about 100 years in England before gaining popularity in the United States around the turn of the century. Early versions of boxing gloves were used in training, but were really nothing more than glorified ranching gloves, weighing only 2 ounces, making them half the size of today's MMA gloves. Wow. Padding was later added that primarily consisted of either horsehair or cotton, later known as mufflers. Even though sanctioned competitions were still held with only bare knuckles until 1889, many boxers scoffed at the idea of using gloves during training, and often ridiculed those who did. The practice of using horsehair and cotton ended up making the gloves too puffy and cumbersome, and was replaced in the 1950s with foam padding, allowing them to be much smaller and more compact. In 1920, New York State's Walker Law, get a Walker Law. Excuse me for a minute. Okay. In 1920, New York State's Walker Law mandated the use of gloves, virtually eliminating legal bare-knuckle boxing altogether. However, sanctioned bare knuckles fighting made a return in 2018 when the Bare Knuckles Fighting Championship held its first competitive event and continues holding fights to this day. Okay, yeah, and we were supposed to get some more about that from Bare Knuckles, but I don't know what happened. Gregory said he talked to him. He didn't come Friday. I haven't heard from him since. Okay, so that was a pretty decent article there. In today's profile was supposed to be Roberto Duran. The Hands of Stone. My second favorite boxer. My first is Muhammad Ali. We can get into Roberto Duran a little bit. How's everybody's Tuesday going? First day of the work week. Everybody have a nice Christmas. Holiday going okay? Mine is good. Good to see Jay Hardcore back this morning. Jay Hardcore back in the building. And he will be back this afternoon at 8. Spinning the block. So he's back on his regular schedule. That was good to hear. Good to see. Excuse me. That was great news. I'm trying to get Roberto Duran up here. Roy Jones and Evander? Okay, yeah. 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 Those are two good ones. Two Hall of Famers. Yeah, Roy Jones and Evander Holyfield. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was usually mostly doing profiles on the older fighters. I just did Duran because I like him so much. But I'll start coming up into present day time too. Guys like that, Roy Jones, Evander. Yeah. Start including them in it. We ain't got no more boxing until the 7th, man. That's depressing. Wow. But hey, I'm looking forward to 2024 because we're gonna get Tank early. Boots is due for a fight. And then what we got on the schedule, we got Virgil Ortiz coming back, doing his debut at 154 on the 7th. Natasha Jonas and Michaela Mayer. Better Be and Callum Smith. We got Usyk and Fury. That's not undisputed though. Did Usyk drop the IBF title? Somebody was telling me it's just unified now. It's not undisputed anymore. I did not know that. But you also know we're not getting Wilder and AJ anymore. Wilder fumbled on the way to the goal line. Yeah, Joe Parker. But we should have saw that coming. You know, I guess we all like Wilder. We was looking at it with our heart, but we had been thinking with our minds. You know, you had a man that hadn't fought but one fight, not only one fight, one round in over 2 years. And Joe Parker, who he was fighting, this was his 4th fight this year. So he had a very inactive fighter, 38 years old, going up against a 31-year-old guy that had been very active in his 4th fight of the year. So we should have saw that coming, you know. Yeah. I did say Friday that if Parker could get it to the cards, he probably would get it done. But I didn't think he would. I thought Wilder was going to catch him with that right hand. B3, what's happening? But Parker showed them great reflexes, man. He was stepping in, putting his head right in Wilder's chest every time. Wilder just couldn't get that right hand on him. What's going on, B3? Haven't seen you in a minute, bro. Tank versus Duran. You got Tank by stopping. B3, I don't know about the Duran of the 70s, man. The Hands of Stone Duran. I don't know, man. Wow. I got Tank over everybody, but the Hands of Stone of the 70s? I don't know, man. And that guy had a chin, man. But I mean, you know, I guess chin don't matter against the Tank left hand. But man, I don't know. He beat Sugar Ray Leonard, remember? He beat Sugar Ray. That was at 47, but he was 54-1 in the 70s. I don't know who beat him. I don't know. But you know what? You're probably right, B3. Because of Durant's style, Tank ain't gonna have to look for him. He gonna be right there. I got Tank probably would catch him. Yeah. You're probably right. Yeah. Yeah. Because Durant was like that brawler style, you know. We went over styles. Brawler inside all the time, you know. One to exchange. So yeah. Tank would probably get him. I have to go along with that, B3. Once I thought about it, yeah. Yeah, Tank would get him. But that would be a good fight. Tank and Durant in their prime? Yeah, I agree, B3. B3, I had to pick Tank. Yeah, the hands of stone. But not many other lightweights. Not many other ones. Devin? He would stop Devin in like 2 or 3 rounds, Durant would. Knew how to cut the ring off. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about him a little bit. Roberto Duran. No, he wouldn't quit. Because, see, Sugar Ray was playing with winding up and stuff. Rocking back and forth like Ray Charles sang the national anthem. Remember how Ray Charles used to rock? He did the national anthem before the fight. And Sugar Ray did that during the fight to Duran, right? Then he wound up with one hand and hit him with the other hand. And Tank wouldn't do that to him. That's why he quit, man. Sugar Ray was just making a fool out of him. Which he should have did the first fight. Not make a play with him, but he should have fought that type of fight. You know, but Duran lured him into that brawl and beat him. Yeah. I don't think he would quit. Tank would stop him, though. Yeah. Yeah. Sugar Ray was playing with him. I might watch that. I'm going to watch that in this little lull, too. So that's 2. I got the Thriller in Manila and Leonard Duran 1 and 2. So that's 3 fights. Because you know we don't have no more boxing until the 7th. So I'm probably watching a lot of old fights. That's 3 right there. Thriller in Manila, Leonard Duran 1 and 2. Yeah. Yep. Those 2. Those 3. Start out with them and go from there. Yeah. You say interest abounds, T Hill. So what's up, B3? How you been, bro? Let me see. I'm gonna hold off on Duran until tomorrow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link in. That's what I'm going to do. Do I have one? Yeah, I should have one. Here it is right here. I'm going to put the link in. Because I read the thing on boxing and that, you know, that's enough for me reading for today. I don't want to bore y'all too much. So we do the profile on Roberto Duran tomorrow. Right now, I'm going to drop the link. Anybody that wants to chop it up, we can chop it up till 4 o'clock. Oh, shoot. I'm messing up already. Okay. Miss one day and I forget everything. It's beautiful outside, man, for December the 26th. Wow. This is some nice weather. Where I am, anyway. We haven't seen you in a while, B3. StreamYard. And for whoever doesn't know, Jay Hardcore is back. He did a show this morning, and he'll spin the block at 8. He's back on his regular schedule. Okay? And that was excellent news to see him this morning. I didn't know the fight was at 3 a.m. Because normally it's like 7 or 8, right? I just happened to be looking at something. I saw 3 a.m. I was like, that must be overseas. They said no, in the U.S. East Coast, Eastern Standard Time, 3 a.m. But I still only watched the monster fight. That the thing they did on him, that was kind of long. But, you know, ESPN. Once Loma go, I guess Monster's gonna take Loma's spot for them. You know. But it's all good. Monster is a great fighter, man. Ex-cool boy. How about him? Okay, here comes the link. Let me make sure it's right. There we go. All right. But other than that, I'm gonna check around and see what's happening around boxing real quick. Go into a little detail. Oh yeah. Yeah, Remo B3. Remo did his shirt. Yeah. Oh, oh, he wants you to come on here with it on. Oh man. Oh wow. He did it. I saw it. Yeah. So B3, look like it's gonna be the they try to make the Devin and Ryan. What happened to Tank? Huh? That's the Devin and Ryan. That's the talk I'm hearing. Ryan's father said he think Bill, if he want the Tank fight, he going about it all wrong. That's what Mr. Garcia said. I heard somewhere somebody said Walter was going to retire, but I didn't hear that officially. Anybody heard him say that officially? You know, I figured, you know, when he was in the ring after the fight, you know, the fight just happened and everything, and, you know, he just lost. Of course, he's going to say he's coming back, but after some time. No, he's not. Okay. Okay, being boxer dudes, thank you. Yeah, I had read that somewhere, but, you know, you got to get verification. Wonder what's next for him. For Walter. Monster, I think, is going to be Ahmed Deliab. He lost to Palace, but he got back in the winning column. And Monster said he's going to stay. He's not going up right away. He wants to stay at 22 and defend his titles next year. Yeah. And Ahmed Deliab would be a good an opponent. You know. There you go. What's up, Thomas Hill?
Man, salute.
Salute. What's going on, man?
You know, you're talking to boxing with you, man. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listening to thinking about what B3 said about Ryan trying to take money. I think Ryan really trying to take their money. Ryan trying to get Dev out the list and that rematch.
Yeah. And they got the history, you know what I mean?
But yeah, I mean, I think we make that fight at 140.
140,
like, yeah. For all the purse, everybody's tuning in. If you put that fight up and you make it for the fighters portion of the purse, like whoever wins gets the other portions. Man, everybody.
Right. Like winner take all or something.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just want to see it because I'm tired of the fan bases going back and forth over something that we can't verify through words because all they are is just words. the fight takes place in the ring. I know a lot of people also say that they don't really want to see Tank fight Shakur, but I do. And
I do too.
If it's that Shakur with that fought in the ring with De Los Santos where he's moving around, you know, cutting the ring and cornering your opponent and setting them and putting them into positions that puts a disadvantage to them, an advantage to you as part of ring generalship. So you gotta have that in your arsenal to be a complete fighter. So if Tank wants to be man, he gotta navigate that. And I like to see that too.
Yeah. But I will say this, after that performance, I think Shakur is gonna have to redeem himself against somebody else before he gets that Tank fight, though. You agree with that?
I'm just saying that's just that's my mentality, man.
But I would still like to see them fight eventually, you know. I still want to see that fight. Yeah,
I know, and I know, I'm fully aware that neither one of those two fighters are going to stand there in front of Tank and fight. I was just talking to somebody else, and they said that Devin would fight Tank the same way he fought Regis, and I'm saying there's no way he's standing around Tank like that. Because Tank would be able to catch to him and put him in a disadvantageous position where he can capitalize off of it. So he's not going to do that.
No, he wouldn't fight Tank like
and Tank is fully aware of that too. So he knows he has to change the way he fights them. But that's part of the chess match, and that's what I would like to see. But as far as the Marlon Tapales Inoue fight, somebody made an interesting statement. They said that they believe that Inoue is much bigger than what he's been fighting. And he looks bigger than the opponents that he fights in the ring.
Yeah.
That is kind of true. I mean, he does look bigger than people he's fighting in the ring. That being said, I really want to see Inoue away from the magic that is Japan. His hometown affords amenities and luxuries that should not be and are not allowed elsewhere. That we need to get into that element. So I think that from here on out, you know, especially since Bob would hop in the ring with him, Bob need to bring him back out this way. And he would be
You know what, though? He is not going to get full credit until he comes out of Japan. He's not. He's just not, you know?
Well, I think that everybody who's fought has not been on his level. You know, he definitely deserves the credit for that. But there's some things that take place that I don't know that I can, like you said, I can give credence to it. I don't believe that you should not have the ability to, on a random, tell them, you know what, today is not a good day for this random.
Right, exactly. Come on, man.
Like, where does that ever take place? Never.
It's not random.
A random. Yeah, that's why they call it random. And yet he was allowed to tell them, like, nah, this is not a good time for you to take a random.
Yeah.
Let's reschedule. So yeah, I don't think that.
Yeah, but see, that's the whole thing. He in Japan. He gets away with that. You know what I mean?
GP, he definitely more talented. He definitely way more talented than the people he's fought. The only exception is Nonito. And you know, they said the second time they fought him, they put him through a world of, you know, stipulations that wouldn't allow for Nonito to be at his very best. And I believe that. Because I believe, like they did with the movies, like they painted Godzilla as the hero.
Right.
And he was the one, and where, you know, everybody else was the victim. And then, you know, likewise, it was painted over here that King Kong was the hero. And Godzilla was the villain. So they definitely do what they got to do to make sure that Inoue is always cleaned up. But he is a fantastic fighter.
Yes, he is.
He's very fantastic at that. And I just think that he needs to get away from those things that could cripple his like interest, not his interest, but his reputation, and come out and fight out this way and be subjugated to the rules. And I think that the rules should apply all the way around.
Yeah.
Everywhere. If anybody is fighting for that title, wherever they fight, the rules need to be at play. You can't have an advantage because you live in a certain region. You can't be exposed to a banned substance if it's in your region's livestock. Nah, and you eat something else. You know what I'm saying? You just can't have that.
It's the same everywhere. Just like, and then they make sure they pay these guys and get them to come over there. Because like Cool Boy, had the belts when he fought him, but they made it so lucrative to him. He went on over there, and Marlon had just as many belts as Inoue had, but they made it attractive to him to make him come over there and fight. You know?
Yeah,
why is that?
I think what the Cool Boys is, I don't know, man. That just didn't look like the real Cool Boy in the ring, man. And I know a good deal of that had to do with the fact that he was facing Inoue, but it just didn't look right. Cool Boy didn't look right at all going in that fight. So, man, I don't know. I would like to see him run that fight back, and I would like to see it happen over here. See if Cool Boy really was that Cool Boy, or we just got a shell of himself Cool Boy up there.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Inoue is good and talented, but do it somewhere else.
Marlon looked kind of good in that fight, though. But
yeah,
the knockout,
on the knockdown.
The knockdown, it looked a little like he got both times at that, because he did that punch back to back. First time you could clearly see it hit the glove, and the second time it looked like it hit the glove, but then he started crawling on his knees. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but
he
looked good in that fight though.
Yeah, Monster Man. I don't know. They say he does that stacking stuff too. I don't know. When his tape job,
he stacks.
Looks like a cast. I don't know if it was a real picture, but somebody showed him one time. It looked like he had a cast on his hands. Man.
Yeah, no, it's hard. And it allows for you to feel that punch a lot more.
And you can't do that everywhere, right?
Yeah, no, you can't. You can only do it in certain places. I think there in Vegas. However, if they're doing it, then I'm doing it too.
Hello.
For sure.
No, what's that? No, the kid's still asleep. She wasn't coming back. She got out there over there. Boy, was about to do. She wasn't coming back no time soon. That's why they jumped up so late, so they wouldn't have time to get the kids here, so nobody wouldn't be able to say nothing. She said, "You didn't work." When that boy around, she act different. Okay. Yeah. I picked you up, right? Just told her when she'll come back when she picked you up. But I just don't like, didn't nobody ask me to babysit. Don't do that. I want to do that, but ask me. Don't just leave like that. Right. Yeah, I do that. Once they got out of there, if I didn't see, they wouldn't come back. Okay, Philip. No, dude. Okay. I'm back. Tom. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, you good.
Oh, let me bring up Remo. I could have brought Remo up. What's up, Remo? You didn't wait too long, did you? I had a phone call.
Yo.
You in the building, Remo?
What's going on, gents? How's everything?
Oh, there you go. Oh, not too much. Another day. That's all. What's up with you? You see the fight this morning?
Nah, man. I'm trying to recover from life, man. It's been so much liquor this damn weekend. It's crazy.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know it was 3 a.m. till the last minute. Because it's normally like 7:30, 8 o'clock, right? In the morning. It's usually not that early.
I'm used to it being like 6, it's usually around like 7-ish.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe the holidays. They don't got holidays.
Yeah. I just found out about 2:30. It was 3 o'clock. I was like, what? That's a half hour from there. Yeah. What you think about the Inoue situation? Go ahead. What you say, Remo?
The kid got, he got the world in his hand right now. But the only problem is he went top rank, right?
Yep.
Unless he come out here, they ain't gonna really put no money behind him.
I know.
That's the problem.
That's what me and Thomas were saying.
They like, all right, so let's say Loma was supposed to be the next coming to Ali according to Bob, right? He ain't put the money behind him and make him a star. If he was supposed to be the Matrix, he should have Matrix-like commercials, and you know what I'm saying? His highlight reel should be more like appealing to casuals, and they never really put him on pay-per-view at all. Like, the only thing that would make Monsters a star is a fight with Tank.
Yeah, he got to come out of Japan, man. He got to fight in the States or something. If they're gonna make him a star.
I want to see that fight now, though. I watch that fight. Tank and Monster,
yeah.
I watch that.
Yeah, I would too.
It's appealing. It's appealing to me because I at the weigh-in, Monster, and he doesn't like. I never seen Tank look shredded like that. So for him to be 122 with no type of body fat, 130 shouldn't be what you call it for him. It shouldn't be a fight because he looks like he be walking around with 2% body fat.
Yeah, and I think he can make 130 nicely. Just looking at him.
Got enough punching power to make it intriguing while it lasts.
He done brought it with him so far. What did he start, like 108 or something, didn't he?
I don't know. I just recently been hearing about the guy. But I don't know where they're going with this #1 pound for pound because I can't name 3 people that I knew about who were like world beaters that he beat. I can't do that.
All I know is Tapalas, Cool Boy, and Donaire. That's it. I don't know nobody else.
I didn't know about Tapalas beforehand, but I knew Cool Boy, and Nonito, but Nonito was a little older.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, so I don't know. He should be up there because he's intriguing. He's traveling through different weight classes. But
hey man, back away from wherever you are. Move over closer to this way.
I wouldn't put it #1. I would keep Bud at #1 though.
Yeah. I agree.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But everybody is on him. I'd say ESPN probably already moved them to #1. You know how they operate.
Man, listen.
Once the fight ended, he was #1 on their list.
I just listened to this whole corruption of Bob Arum documentary on YouTube. It's just crazy. Like boxing in itself is just, if it isn't taken care of properly, it'll go to the waistline, man. Because there's no order.
No, none at all. None.
And that's what sports is based on: intrigue of fans and the luck and the outcome. But like if it can be bought, how do people appreciate it as a sport?
Yeah, and it's bad because who's gonna win most of the time before the fight even starts. That's not good in sports. Like football and the other sport, you don't know the winner before the game starts. It's competitive. But boxing, they got it so well. Yeah, he's gonna win. Every now and then it don't work. But if we really should have known that Wilder's situation was gonna happen, if we looked at it honestly, just looked at both.
You said
one guy had fought. Yeah, one guy hadn't fought but 1 round in 2 years. The other guy was in his 4th fight this year, so we should have saw that coming.
It's not confident.
But we was looking at it with our heart because we like Wilder so.
You can trash it if it's not.
It was one that macaroni and cheese was in.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You really think about it.
You can tell us.
Wilder kind of. I heard somebody going off for him. I think one of the Jarrell brothers going off for him about him not being a boxer. And he's right.
Yeah.
Like, theoretically, like, the guy, he's one really setting up a big shot. And for him to be sitting there trying to dance at almost 40 years old and trying to...
Yeah.
It looked awkward, and he was taking a lot of punishment behind that shit, too.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't advise that for him. But then it's like, you're going to slug until you're 40? Big dudes?
Yeah.
I ain't doing that either. So. If he boxing news, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Being boxing news said he was on 78 and said he was not retiring. Said Wilder said he was not retiring.
It's his personal choice, but I wouldn't be mad if he did. Like he had a great untraditional story. His kid was sick, so he took on boxing. He became a Olympian, a bronze Olympian, whatever he was.
Bronze medalist.
One of the highest knockout rates in history.
Like,
and like, why not? Like, you call it a quiz. You got generational wealth. You got a statue built after you.
Good story. He was a champion for like 10 straight years, wasn't he? Something like that, wasn't he?
I ain't mad at it. And then he's in a division right now where the belts don't really mean nothing. Even if he got the AJ fight. Let's say he got the AJ fight.
Yeah.
He can walk away with that, no problem. He don't need to walk away as a champ. It's not like a championship belt evaded him his whole career.
That's right.
We didn't care about the belt, really. We just wanted to see him knock shit out.
So with that being the case, then, Remo, do you think that you see Wilder get up for that fight? Because it clearly...
What's up, old school? I didn't even see you come in here. There's old school. What's up, old school? I didn't know he was in the chat.
I gotta make this quick because I'm kind of in the middle of doing shit.
Okay.
I just wanted to speak on Wilder real quick. You know, I saw this in the press conferences, and I got Jamel Charlo flashbacks. Wilder being nice, respectful, I mean, overly nice. In the press conferences, it almost made me, it's like he lost his hunger. It's like he lost that fire. Same thing I saw with Jamel when he was with Charlo.
Right.
And I was wondering going into the fight, I said, man, I hope that person don't show up in the ring. And God damn if he didn't happen.
Yeah.
He did not have the killer instinct, dude. He really didn't. Yeah, his timing and all of that crap was off. 3 years out of the freaking ring. What did you expect? But I didn't see the killer that we've been seeing for the last years, you know?
Yeah.
That was not the Wilder I know.
He just walking around with his right hand cocked most of the fight. He wasn't letting it go like he normally does. He definitely wasn't.
But that comes with age as well. Age and reaction time and being on. Remember, most guys that get away with deficiencies in any sport, they don't even got to be boxing. They're allowed to get away with shit because they're young. Their reaction time and athleticism. Once that shit diminishes and you don't have fundamentals in any sport to rely on, you look like a shell of yourself.
I'll be honest. I don't want to see him in the ring with AJ right now. I think he needs another damn fight if he's ever going to fight AJ, because he needs to get whatever that is that was in that last fight out of it.
It's his trainer. You got to get away from that guy.
Yeah. That's what DP said, bring back Breland. I was getting ready to say that, you know, the trainer. Change trainers.
Yeah, but Breland wasn't teaching him much of anything either.
Yeah. I'm saying don't necessarily have to be him, but change trainers, you know. You think that'd be a good idea?
He's got to do something, because what we saw the other night was terrible. That was absolutely freaking terrible.
But I don't know what you would teach him, like, at this point in time.
That's another problem. The man's 38 years old, about to be 39, going on 40. He's at the dead end of his freaking career. I don't know if he can be taught anything.
Give me that fight now. If whoever gets knocked out and sent into retirement, that's it. Because at this point in time, you wait any longer, he'll be 40, and it's like you wasted 10 years talking about this fight, and now none of them have belts.
To be honest, I'd rather see him retire than fight AJ now at this point.
I don't like the way that storyline will end up, though.
Yeah, well, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him get in there with AJ and lose when we know damn good and well the old Wilder would have flattened that dude
or get stopped. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I don't want to see that at all. It's like I said right after the fight. I don't want to see Wilder fighting people that he would have been blasting away, now beating him because of what he's become.
No, but you've seen it. You've seen all the greats end up like that, though. Bernard ended up under the ropes. Roy on his back. Mike Tyson wiping blood off his opponent.
Bernard also took losses he shouldn't have took too.
Yeah. Let me say this to you guys right quick, man. Wilder recently had an interview with 78 Sports TV, and he's pretty much saying everything that we're saying. He pretty much said his timing was off. He pretty much said that he lost his killer instinct. He said he's going to try to regain that back. He said that he's going to get advisement from somebody here. He didn't mention the person, so he's going to do all those things. He's going to fight. He's going to try to fight more. Maybe in the next few months. He's still thinking that the AJ fight is still on, but AJ might pull out of it. So he's hoping that maybe an Andy Ruiz may step up or somebody like that. But I mean, everything that everybody's saying for the killer instinct, his timing, the ring rust, all that stuff, he has admitted to. So he understands those things, and he's attributing the loss to that. And I think he is going to get outside resources to help him, meaning probably another training or another advisement or something else to just dig in somebody else's brain, from the past.
Right now, he does not need to get in the ring with Andy Ruiz because he'll pick him apart.
If there's a perfect example, somebody he could talk to right now, and I don't know why more people don't do it, it'll be Mike Tyson. He took a MMA guy and made him look like a boxer, and then he took his best attributes and made it productive for him, rather than trying to make somebody who's a puncher a boxer.
To be honest, that sounds like a good idea. Tyson could definitely help freaking Wilder.
What's up, GP?
What up, fellas?
BA, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think it'd be best for Wilder to actually get that fight next? So say like he's making the adjustments. Would you like him to take an adjustments with somebody else first, or go straight into the AJ fight if it's available?
I wouldn't recommend him fighting AJ right now, man. AJ got the juice right now. AJ has that killer instinct right now. It's gonna take Wilder a little bit to get that stuff back, bro. Wilder got to fight, take maybe a touch-up fight or something like that first.
Yeah.
But I don't think Ruiz would be that. Ruiz's hand speed is too much for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
He's another guy that can actually box. He's just small, but you know what I mean? He can box.
I would disagree. I would say jump right on in there with AJ.
That's how I feel. I want him in there with AJ one time. I don't want to see
38.
He needs somebody like a Charles Martin in there with him right now. Charles Martin would be a good opponent for him.
How much longer we gonna get this back? They've been ready 5 years ago, and I think that Wilder could have took him before this fight, and I think Wilder can take AJ after this fight. My personal opinion. It's definitely going to be a good one, but I still got Wilder in this one.
Yeah, I think Wilder. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, all right. Yeah, I think Wilder. It's two things. It's one thing that bothers me with switching trainers. Like, I don't want to see a Ryan Garcia under Derek James. Ryan was raw, just being raw. That's who you is. Be that. Be successful with that. Everybody ain't going to be the IQ at this point in their career. Like Ramo was saying, you 38. Talking about Wilder, you 38. Ain't too much you can teach them now. And to get in there and start doing shit like Ryan was doing with the shoulder rope. No, do what you do, and we gonna live and die with that. I live and die with Wilder losing to AJ, doing what I'm known for him to do. Don't come in with that new shit. Like, excuse my language, don't come in with that new stuff.
Ian, what were you saying?
Yeah. What I was saying is, but Wilder will definitely take that AJ fight. He's going to take that AJ fight if it's allotted to him. He basically wants. That's the fight he wants next, like 100%. He's like actually begging for that fight. He's so if that fight comes his way, because he said that the Saudis basically wants that fight, win, lose, or draw. So regardless of if he lost or AJ would have lost, they still wanted that fight.
Okay.
So the only thing right now stopping that fight will be AJ and his handlers. Yes, But other than that, that fight still a go for March.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you, Eddie Hearn and AJ got gruesome falls after watching Wilder lose to Parker. So it might happen.
You know what? During that time of all of this back and forth with those two, they didn't one didn't gain back the confidence that they lost, and then one lost the confidence that they did have going in. It's crazy. It's like a soap opera.
It is crazy.
They switched roles basically in the whole situation within the last 7 years. Shit is nuts. And now AJ got it back on his, like you said, the juice. But it's more, he just got that mentality because he was more questioning himself. Like, what do I have left? And to be honest with you, they both got 3 losses apiece. Fuck it. Jump in there.
Man. If the Saudis still got the money there and still want it, go ahead and I'd say do it.
Do it.
Yeah. The Saudis talking about, the Saudis talking about 50 mil, bro. 50 mil. That's enough money to take and then retire. And y'all got to understand like this here, bro. The guy that AJ looks so good fighting is his sparring partner. So to our eyes, the shit look good. But those dudes pretty much know each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he knew what Wilder was going to do. So, and I look at it like this. You see Deontay Wilder looking bad, like everybody else say. Right now will be your best chance defeating him. Take that chance. I bet you he won't. I bet you he's scared.
Yeah, I think that.
But they had already signed and everything, right? On the 9th. Didn't they already have it scheduled and everything? On March 9th?
Yeah, it's signed already. Yeah, it's signed.
Okay.
Yeah,
so what
signed
would be
already.
his excuse to back out now then?
He was talking about chasing.
Yeah, but Eddie had said that they passed that fight since Wilder lost. So
yeah, he said that.
I think they were
Said
talking
they passed the
about
fight.
they were talking about looking for a belt. Somebody had like a vacant belt or something like that. But
Well, no, they wanted like they wanted one of those runner-up belts, one of those secondary belts. That's what he wants. A belt, one of those belts that nobody respects.
See, but on the podium though, he said he still wants to fight. So I guess Eddie done talk something in his ear, kind of like, you know.
They saw the performance and they believe now that Wilder is a shit of himself. So we might take that fight, make some chips, and still keep our dub and keep our fire going.
I just want to see it before I get too old, and I don't give a shit about it no more.
I want to see it. You know, we've been talking about it so long. Do it.
But I think that you know, I don't know what this ayahuasca is and all these other things that people have been saying he's been taking that like subdues you and things like that.
Who, Wilder?
Huh?
You talking about Wilder?
Yeah, they say he's been on this new supplement or whatever it is that supposedly subdues you and things like that.
Wow.
That's what he's so much more calm and reserved.
I think he's if that's what you say. I know I've heard about the ayahuasca. It's kind of like a release of like your inner like if you have any like internal like hurt or guilt or anything like that. It's like a whole ceremony. You go with a shaman. You drink this liquid and smoke this thing, but I think he's more into Buddhism than anything. I think he converged into
Buddhism.
that
might be a religion thing, man. I don't think I'm gonna take no supplements, man.
Nah, it's like a religious ceremony, and you go into like small villages in like Peru and in the jungle, and, you know, you kind of like find yourself in deeper ways. I did a little study on it before. That's how I know a little bit about it. But it's more like internal. It's like releasing internal pain and finding like an internal happiness for forever. Like it doesn't last forever, but you keep practicing and finds you in a deeper place. I guess that's where you're at in life, and you know, I don't know if that releases some of the anger away from you. I don't know, like, you know.
All I know is we need Bomb Squad back.
I might have been left in the ring with Tyson Fury, man.
All right, y'all, I'm out.
Okay, old school.
Old school.
What's up, D for the win? D for the win said he still wanted to fight Saturday. He must be talking about AJ, but I guess we'll see. I just can't see what fight was already signed and everything. What is this excuse for backing out now? Say the man lost. I mean, they still want to fight.
They using that probably as leverage.
He was looking for a way out, bro.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Yeah.
Yeah, he had been looking for a way out.
I could see this happening all over again with taking them too. They keep playing around with this fight. They doing a circle dance now with this shit. Or weight class and money and this and that. Like by the time I get this, I'll be 45. Man.
No, so then, like I say, the simple medium is to make it at 140. You know what I'm saying, and do a same day weight on top of that, and then make it for the purse. Because now, you know, if you really want the fight and you looking for the big fight, what bigger fight can that be than fighting for all the marbles?
Yeah, you know who gonna get this done, right? That new Muslim faith. I'm telling you, they're gonna sit down and they're gonna talk about, you know, for brotherhood and all of that stuff, and you know, betterment of the families, and that's what's going to change the fact of this shit. Simply.
I thought they was talking about Ryan Garcia now.
I think that's a deflection, man.
You think so?
Yeah, it's a deflection. It'll get some money in the air, but like, you know, I don't think nobody was overly impressed at Ryan's last fight. I think people was more laughing at the whole shoulder roll thing than the knock. But
yeah,
I don't want that yet. Give me the fight that I want.
Winner number one.
I don't care about no 135. That storyline right there is one of the best in boxing right now. Period.
You might want to get with the winning team.
But Remo, it's saying that Tank is going to have another fight before Devin, so maybe Devin can fight Ryan as this warm-up fight for Tank. Because everybody talking about it's not going to be till summertime or something, you know?
Better not be no damn Isaac Cruz, man. I don't want to hear that shit. I'll take De Los Santos though. I was thinking about it the other day.
Yeah,
I'll take him.
Oh, really? Yes.
Or Loma. No, but Loma fighting the other guy.
Nah,
so if De Los Santos, you know, why not Frank Martin?
No, I was gonna say his name too. That's the only two I would consider. That makes sense.
Ryo.
I don't know what
Ryo called him out after he beat Colbert. Remember? How about Ryo?
Ryo can call him out, but you know, Ryo is PC. Okay.
I think Ryo would be better off going to get that get back from De Los Santos first, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
If he go run that back now, and then he's like, you know what? I made all my wrongs. Because he did switch trainers as well. I think he went to his old trainer. He went back to his old trainer. And, you know what I mean? He smacked this kid around. Colbert.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad at that. Like, you know.
I agree with that. So I mean, I'm not mad at the De Los Santos fight, but you know, the narratives that will go in the spin off of that fight, I would rather if it be somebody like that than it should be Martin.
What about Shakur?
Quiet too.
What about Shakur? He got to fight somebody else before Tank to redeem himself.
People don't recognize how much Bob is a problem in making these fights. Bob has been capitalizing big time off of the back end of those fights that he makes with the people that are his stars. You go in there and you fight Tank. Now you're dealing with Al because Al pays his fighters off of the merit of their own marketability and their ability to produce in the ring. So they get to see the money, and you don't see it over there. But once you see it in a fight with him, you're gonna be like, Al, you was on Bob, you on some BS. Where my money been?
See, Bob ain't been really paying nobody. He been using a lot of money that been presented off different sources. Like the whole Japan just now with Monster. I could bet that was fronted on a Japanese side. Then you turn around, he been getting money with the Saudis right now, and they've been flipping that bill. So it's like, who he really been paying out? Everything's been on free TV.
Yeah. Jayhawk said something about Top Rankings for sale this morning or something, I think. Didn't he?
I think I heard something like that with the MMA guy, thing.
Oh, the what? What's his name?
Bob is on borrowed time right now. He's 90-something years old, man. He almost a whole what you call it? What you call that shit? Century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Don King. Don King
but
up there in the 90s too.
Yeah, they both. Yeah, I think they both the same age. But the thing is, like with them, is like they're not really trying to change the business model or evolve shit. Like they got all the money that they got going when they God forbid pass away. But it's inevitable. Like their family is set for life. They ain't really trying to change lives for young black kids no more, nothing like that.
Hey fellas, what happened to BOK Prime? What happened to that?
I don't know.
You got Blue Blood.
Ask Brony that. Like, what? I thought they was like the next coming Bud that, and they the guys who jumped onto that.
They was literally fly by night. Fly by night operation.
They came in way over their head, and they overpaid.
And D, that would be absolutely astronomical if that happened.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. They could have had something good, but like they should have been the grassroots company to really get these kids off the floor.
Who is that?
And pay BLK Prime. If they came in with a model like they was going to take care of the
Lord tournaments with kids, I'm with that.
Yeah, not even like just the kids.
Like a tournament.
It don't got to be tournament, but make these younger kids the headliner. Like you gotta have like say like in your area, Mia, she could headline, Lorenzo could headline, something like that. Jaleel, a Shushu, somebody like that. Where these promoters are not gonna front line them, but they still have a young crowd where could pack out. Let's say like you don't gotta be like an auditorium, but you know what I'm saying, like a smaller size gym,
right? Where
they're getting attention and traction, and they're keeping them busy. But they came in and they took away the biggest fight and paid Bud all this money.
I know.
And then it was just like, you pay between Bud.
Bud probably made more off of them than they made.
Bro,
they made all together.
They paid Zab, they paid Bud, and they paid Blue Blood, and the shit went away.
Yep.
No money left.
Fly by night operation.
Like it was that next shit coming. Like I get it. But it wasn't sustainable, especially when you pay Bud the most he's ever been paid. It's whack.
Right. And that's your first promotion.
Yeah.
They just
it was crazy. They hopped on. They ain't test out the board to see if it can handle the amount of subscribers or nothing. They just jumped in the water.
Nothing. Yeah. They just swooped in and swooped out. I haven't heard nothing about them though, GP. Since then, nothing at all.
Was it an app or a streaming service? Like I didn't even know how that played out.
I don't know. I don't know what they was.
I really think they banked on Bud making them big. But that ain't
It didn't work.
Bud wasn't selling out. First of all, Bud wasn't selling out. First of all, to use your
they picked the wrong person.
No, they picked the right person. It was just the venue,
the wrong approach.
The wrong approach. Yeah,
that's what it
definitely had the right person.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're right.
If
somebody just came up here. Who was that?
If they had locked them in a deal where it was like two, it made sense. Where you know what I mean, you grown with the company as well, but a one-off, that was some real Bronx shake-up shit. Like he came in there, kicked over everything, the pistol whipped the dog and left. Like he just
came over there, like you said, man. He came over there to get a bag and stall out that Spence matchup one more year.
Yeah.
And
Yo,
that's what
GP,
he
you know
did.
what? You know what was so bad? The man couldn't even cut a proper promotional conversation for them. He didn't try so much times just to say BLK Prom. Just calling it Black Prom. Like he couldn't figure it out.
Right.
So
You know, I
what
saw
up,
some.
everybody?
What's up, B3?
Go ahead. Somebody about to break something down. I mean, I was
Oh no,
about
I
to.
was just thinking about B3. I want you to come in. I was thinking about the it was a card set in DC. In DC, one of the tank cards, and what Ramo was saying was like getting some of them young dudes on it. Yo, BLK could have stacked the card. You got the headliner with Bud. You could have stacked the card. They did it with Tank and Boots. Like, yo, all right, we know we're getting two good fights. We know we're getting two fights. Even if they wasn't fighting nobody, we saying our favorite fighters. They could have did something like that, but just to stack it all around Bud and Abnesia or whatever his name is, it's crazy.
I agree, GP. But you know, one thing we know about Al, he don't be selling his fights. You see what I'm saying? He really keep him on platform. But I want to ask. I know we about to hop off or whatever Cass trying to do. But I want to know what y'all think Shakur next fight should be. Who y'all think Shakur should line up with next?
That's a good question. Yeah, I was thinking about that a minute ago too. I don't know.
I got the answer for that. Shakur should sit still, heal up, and then take that belt that he just won and leverage it against the winner of Loma and Kambosos. That's what I'm doing.
Now, you let me say this real quick. You like that fight, even if Shakur's on a like a 10-month layoff, 12-month, it ain't gonna matter to you?
Nah, it ain't gonna matter.
No,
because what he's been advertised as, which I'm not saying he is or he isn't, but what he's been advertised as, and then him saying he's been injured and nagging little things here and there, you give him his time, he's talented enough that you give him that pass. And then you see what the product is. And I've been saying that on record. Like, I want to see what these dudes is really about. So if Loma is supposed to be the great white wolf, Shakur should walk past him if he's advertised as such.
I can agree with that. All right, so sit out. Anybody else got an opponent in mind?
Yeah,
just in case Shakur want to get $3 million real quick.
I know he ain't want to take it, but I like to see Eastside Cruz against Shakur.
Yeah, that's
dangerous.
See, one thing about these guys, and I would love that matchup too, just for Shakur's sake. But man, these guys, I'll really be moving behind the scenes in ways, and we know of him, but the people that really interact with him, the loyalty they be showing, like is almost unprecedented in business. How much loyalty they show to Al. Like Sean Gibbons won't even take his fighters to another network unless Al see fit. You know what I'm saying? Al approves of it.
What about Ryan?
Yeah. I ain't take that into consideration.
Oh, Ryan would be good.
If I was a fighter, I'd definitely be under Al.
Yeah, no question.
So for Shakur,
but see, Al gonna look out for you even if you're not fighting. These dudes be getting stipends and stuff like that. So people, a lot of fighters, they be going unpaid. Don't get it twisted when they not fighting. So, but Cass, you said Ryo versus Shakur?
Yeah. What about that?
I would think if it's something that way, then I would go more side his own side of the promotional thing and go with Mortai versus Shakur. You know, I like the Loma more better than Mortai, but if it's not Loma, then it's Mortai, and not Mortai, then probably a pit bull, because I definitely want to see if he could do it, if he can navigate that.
I'm with you on that. I would love to see the Muay Thai fight. I want to see if they can. I want to see possibly maybe they can do it in LA or something. Because I take that back a little bit, because I didn't like the Las Vegas move for Shakur. with De Los Santos. I think they should have did that on the East Coast. You know what I mean? Preferably back in New Jersey, but I just don't know where they will put the Muay Thai fight. You know what I mean, Tia?
Where's Muay Thai from?
See, that's a good question. He don't really got no marketability. I know he trained out of Robert Garcia's gym, but they haven't promoted him good enough. I don't even know where he's from.
Hey,
I would do it in Texas. Texas would be good.
I thought it was California. He was from California or something like that.
Yeah. Hey, we put him in Texas. You know, we can't get Keyshawn on the undercard, so we got to look at that now too.
Man, Keyshawn got to chill. Chill off that weed, man.
B3, your question kind of skipped past me. I said Eastside Cruz, but when I think back, I would really like to see De Los Santos again in Shakur. I know we got bad.
You saying that?
I want to see it again because I know we know what both of them can do, but neither one of them tried nothing.
True.
I don't know if I want to see that again, man.
I don't want to see what we don't want to see what we saw again.
No, real talk.
But see,
the matchup
is
a good matchup. It's a good matchup.
Yeah, California.
I don't want to see that shit. I'm be mad as hell. I see that. If I had to sit through 12 rounds of that again, I'm never gonna watch that.
I think it'd be different. Both got booed out the gym. Both.
Yeah, it would be different.
I think it'd be a fight. Like they both take chances. The matchup was good from the get, but they ain't performed for us. But it was a good matchup.
Yeah. That's a good point, GP.
On this, though.
Yeah,
I want to hear
both of them will make it different. Yeah,
because what do y'all think, Cass? Do you think that Shakur let his hands go in the second fight versus De Los Santos? Y'all trying to
Yes.
I think they both would be different.
What makes you think he would let his hands go in the second fight? I just want to know, just to I understand it.
I believe that he's skilled. Like I believe that he's skilled. He just didn't trust in his skill.
B3 because he was hurt the first time.
No excuses.
Okay. No. I wouldn't call it an excuse. If his left hand was actually injured, I can understand why he didn't throw it. Because all we talking about is letting your hands go. Yeah, we don't think he's scared. We just talking about not letting your hands go. And it's like I do want to see him. I would want to see him revisit De Los Santos, but I would rather see him with somebody that with a style like Moritaia. And the reason being is no go on the
Moritaia is from Fontana, California.
Okay, from Cali. Okay, so that's why I said it would be good for Shakur to fight in California. I believe. I mean, I don't know the logistics behind it. I just think it'd be cool. But I mean, you just want somebody with that Robert Garcia taught style to fight. You know what I'm saying, to fight Shakur, because anybody that's gonna be slick or just gonna be throwing 1,000 feints, that's not Shakur. That's Shakur style. So they're gonna mirror each other. I like Dr. Y'all saying the De Los Santos fight. That I don't think it should be next for Shakur. I think that would hurt even worse. I think they gotta get somebody that's gonna try to dog Shakur out, or that's not gonna be scared to really throw punches with him.
Hold on. Dog Shakur out is crazy. Gotta pause. That was wow.
Man, listen, hey Rima, I switched it up. I was going, beat him up.
Yo, govern yourself, man.
Hey, I'm gonna have to govern myself, but you gonna govern me for sure, no question. Pause.
I ain't letting nothing slip through the cracks here.
D for the win. What you think, man? Being a former boxer yourself.
D for the win. I think he up here.
Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me?
We hear you
we hear you now.
Oh, I'm about to ask B3, if Loma beat Shakur, you gonna change that profile picture?
If Loma beats Shakur, I would have. Shakur gonna cry, so it's gonna have to be Shakur. If Loma beats Shakur, Shakur gonna cry.
Oh man,
that's a fact. That would hurt him so bad. The way he been talking about Loma.
I don't want to see Shakur fight Pitbull because that fight gonna be boring for real. Because Pitbull don't know how to jab to save his life. He's just gonna be loading up wild ass shots that you can see coming a mile away. Yeah, Shakur gonna get out of the way of all that shit. I don't even think it's entertaining, but I want to see Shakur fight Ortiz. Even I don't know if Ortiz can make 35 no more. That's my only issue with that.
Jermaine,
yeah, I'd like to see him fight him. Since they had their little back
still in
and
this
forth.
fight.
I want to see him grow.
Yo, I thought Jermaine went up to 40 though. Didn't he go up to 40?
Did he go up? I know he was having problems making 35.
Yeah, he fought Lipinets, didn't he?
Nah, he didn't fight Lipinets. He's signing to
Who
fight
fought him
Tio.
on the Hector card? Hector and Lamar.
Sergey fought Michelle Rivera.
Oh, Michelle Rivera. I always get them mixed up. Him and Ortiz.
Yeah.
It was Michelle Rivera. Yeah.
Yeah, Jermaine moved up.
And that's official that he moved
Really?
up. That's why I wasn't for sure.
So I'm gonna be honest with you.
Teofimo.
They didn't put out the final press release for the Tio Jermaine fight, but they was talking about they supposed to be the Thursday before Super Bowl. Tio and Jermaine.
Oh yeah, that's right.
yo, what's up with this guy and Thursday? What's up with him?
Oh, it's ESPN. ESPN putting that money up for those Thursday dates. Do you know that's why they ain't complain? Because you know they would have canceled that show and probably moved it back to Jersey if they could have, but the ESPN put money.
Ain't one of them Zepeda kids up for 135 title shot?
William, he number one for Tank Belt in the WBA. So other than that, he not number one.
Is it him or Ryo? Because I thought
it was Ryo.
So I haven't seen the updated rankings. We know Ryo won the WBA Eliminator versus Cobra, but the person that was sitting number one for a long time was William Zepeda. He was there. Yeah, he been there for a while.
Who's his promoter?
But I'm not saying he had a mandatory or nothing. He was just sitting there one.
Hey, them 35 belts, they vacant.
Three of them. I mean, two of them are. The IBF and the WBO.
But Devin don't hold none of them anymore, right?
Nah.
So who got him right now?
Shakur got the WBC and Tank got the WBO. Shakur got the other one. The IBF and the WBA is open.
And then Loma and them is fighting for one.
For the IBF. They fight
Nobody
for the
said
IBF.
nothing about the last one?
The WBO.
Did they make Tank? Did they elevate Tank? I know they was talking about it. WBA.
They did it, even though he said he didn't want to.
No one did.
Right. I thought they did. I thought they did do it. Yeah.
They did, even though him all they did was get rid of the super champion. Though I think that's what they doing, getting rid of that super champion title and just leaving it.
Yeah.
Well, this only thing I'm gonna say about that. I'm gonna say about that is if Tank keep his same belt, they need to open it up to where he could unify with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think
that's what they doing. They getting rid of the super champion title.
Okay, so then the regular just gonna have the mandatories and be able to unify because that's what that was the difference before. Okay.
Yeah. But the WBA is the interesting one to me because Loma's ranked number one, but I don't know who the fuck they gonna have him fight unless they gonna give the WBO to. If they just go ahead and say, okay, the winner of Loma and Cambosis, since y'all both ranked high, because Loma's number one in the WBA.
Oh, that's probably what they fighting for now, D. Because think about it.
They fighting for the IBF.
But no, what I'm saying is this. Well, I'm talking about the people behind the scenes because ain't no way Loma and Cambosis is gonna be able to. Bob Arum not gonna be able to grab two belts. You see what I'm saying? He gonna be able to get that one. And then Loma gonna have to come out of that sanctioning body, and the like you say, the WBO, Taya might have to fight for that one or somebody in the WBO, but they're not gonna let Loma and Cambosis pull two of the titles. I don't think.
Oh, you mean at the same time?
But Loma's
at the same time. Yeah, exactly.
Loma's definitely number one in the WBA.
You mean WBO?
Yeah, WBO. I mean, yeah.
Loma's definitely number one. Unified B3.
Well, they're not gonna put two. They're not gonna give them. I don't be honest with you. The power players like Eddie, they would politic, and they wouldn't want two vacants on the line for them to be able to snag two belts like that.
Challenge for 35 though. It's gonna have to be a promoter that got fighters that's ranked in that division. For that, be able to try to lobby. You know what I'm saying?
I'm agreeing 100%. You're right.
For that vacant belt, who's the top three in that with that sanctioning body? If you know
for which one, because it's still two vacant belts.
they got one in line for fighting for Loma and what you call it already, and then you said Tank got one, and then Shakur got one. So who that last belt? I don't know the
That's what I'm talking
organization.
about. That's what I'm talking about. The WBA. Like, they got Loma ranked number 1 in the WBA. The fight with Cambosis is for the IBF.
This is what I could see happening, D. I could see happening if I believe Morataya might be ranked pretty high in the WBO. So if Loma go the IBF route with Cambosis, maybe they'll let Shakur and Morataya fight for the vacant. So that'll be like a unification for the vacant.
If you're gonna let Shakur fight for it, you might as well let Loma and Cambosis fight for it, because Shakur can't be ranked for the WBC champion.
Yeah, but see, the thing about in negotiations, they're not gonna Shakur. They're not gonna want to be in no deficit with Loma or Cambosis bringing 2 belts to the table.
You know what I think? You know what I think they're gonna do, or what they should do to make everything even? Since Top Rank already got the WBC with Shakur, and then either Loma or Cambosis is about to get the IBF. Tank got the the WBA or the WBO. They should let. I know people probably don't want to see this fight, but in terms of top 5 fighters, they should let Frank Martin and Pitbull fight for that.
Oh, I like that.
They should let them 2 fight for that other belt. That way, it'll be 2 belts on the PBC side, 2 belts on Top Rank side. Y'all gotta come together if we're gonna unify. Y'all gotta do a cross promotion if we're gonna get a unified champion.
That's a good fight.
Yeah,
and it keeps it like even. Because now you got 4 different fights to make if somebody's gonna get to undisputed again.
God damn it, we got another promoter in the house.
Yeah, I'm saying, but you know the real question to me, the real question at 35, the wild card, is what's Javante about to do? Because I don't want to see this Pitbull rematch for nothing. I've been screaming that to people, right? But I kind of scratched my head the other day when I seen somebody say, y'all got to see the play. Tank's about to fight Pitbull at 140. He need a tune-up, and he need a fight at 40 before he can even go step to Devin. I seen the nigga say that, and I was like, I don't want to see that fight, but I would respect it a little more if it's at 40. Just because I'm like, okay, cool, this is tune-up, his fight back, and it's his first fight at 40 to get a training camp and get acclimated to the weight before he goes step to Devin. Because that's the one thing I wouldn't want him to do, is fight Devin at 40, his first fight at 40. You know what I'm saying? Like, he fought 3 years ago, but he didn't like it, went back down. So it's been 3 more years. You know what I'm saying? You got to readjust your body. That I wouldn't mind. That's the only way he could fight Pitbull, and I wouldn't mind.
I mean, there's some credence to that, but I mean,
I still don't want it. I still don't want it. But if I had to get it, that the only reason why I say I would go for that is because I'm like, okay, if that nigga stepping up to 40, is because I know he's trying to fight Devin now, and they about to pick, they about to make their move. That's the only reason why I wouldn't kill the Pitbull fight. I'd be like, I'll take a Pitbull fight at 40 if I know Devin's coming down the line. I don't want no Pitbull fight at 35.
Tank said he ain't going to 40.
Yo, I'm fine with him fighting anybody if the next one is coming up.
I'm with you, but it's gonna be big, man. I think it's gonna be big.
I don't think we got much longer to wait before we get the announcement.
If you trying to get a test at 140, right? Would you accept somebody like a Michelle Rivera?
Yeah, I take him fighting anybody at 40, his first fight back. If he just needed, you got to think between all this shit with his judge and whether he could train or can't train. He ain't for sure about his fight dates now and all of this shit. I would take whoever if he's stepping up to 40, because in my opinion, the only reason he be even going to 40 after being that adamant about being a 35 pounder is because he want to fight that. That's the only way I could even see him going to 40. He could stay at 35. There's still plenty of fights I love to see. I love to see him fight Frank Martin. I love to see him fight Shakur. I wouldn't mind seeing Tank and Loma still.
Same here. I just don't want to see him in a ring with that Pitbull cat, because not even
at all.
Fact that Pitbull
Beat him with
is
one
terrible.
hand.
Not even that. I just don't think Pitbull after that loss have done anything to deserve a rematch. Like, he didn't do anything in the division. He ran away from everybody. I don't reward bad behavior, even with my kids. You don't get shit if you ain't done shit.
That last fight on that Bud and Earl undercard killed it for me. I was like, there's no way you could sell this shit. I don't care how many Mexicans willing to buy it. Like, you can't sell this shit, bro.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was. He looked so bad. And for real, I think dude beat him because they didn't give him a knockdown.
Me too.
And he knocked him down.
Yes, he did.
I mean, if they'd have counted that knockdown, he lost a split decision.
Yes, he did.
He lost a split decision.
That's boxing for you.
You know how boxing is. Like, it ain't just who you is how was your last performance? You know what I'm saying? Like, for you to sell it to a nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was your last performance like? Like his
So
last performance.
that's the good thing with this fight with Devin being possibly made, because it was a fantastic performance by him.
Yeah.
Craziness.
I just want to see Tank fight a nigga that make everybody shut the fuck up. It don't gotta be Devin.
They gonna make excuses even
I
still.
keep saying, I just want the order
that.
to get restored. I just want them to restore the order, bro. Like, yo, listen, man. Shorty is better than all y'all. From my eye test. You only got a shot because he's 5'4", 5'5". That's the only reason half you niggas even be in the game. If Tank was the same size as these niggas, would none of them be saying his name. Would not one of them be saying his name. But if Tank was their size, he'd be fighting that welterweight. That's the difference between him and them.
So that's why, to me, go ahead, Remo.
Them kids is really lucky that he's such a big name, because the business of the boxing shit really is getting in the way of anything else more than anything. Because if you ask a nigga Tank, he gonna fight whoever, whatever weight. He don't give a shit. He ain't scared of none of them. But like, he's an investment. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's bringing in plenty of dollars to a network, and he's dawned as the next star. So
that's why, hey Ramo, that's why I can see Ramo. That's why I can see, like, I can see a Loma, or I can see them guys that's bringing their country with them. Like, Tank is about his money, and that's what it is. He can fight all of them, beat all of them.
But he want to get paid. He want to get paid on the back end.
Yeah,
he definitely want to put that bread.
I'm fighting who bringing their country with him. He did it his whole career. Mayweather did it his whole career.
That's what he got.
I'm fighting who bringing their country with him. It's no knock against Haney. We can fight, or Shakur. We can fight, but I ain't really Ryan brought his, not a country, but his little following was big. His following was big.
Yeah, that was like his following was like a country.
What's crazy is Tank walked away with all of his shit.
Fact.
D, speaking of what you said, though, I'm not bad, but D, speaking of what you said about the size, is the real reason why I want that fight to take place at 140. But like I say, to make it a draw and make it something that it'd be hard. Oh, he took off, huh? Make it be something that is even harder to turn down. Put the purse up. If you so convinced that this person don't bring nothing to the table that will cause you a problem, and that you can just dispatch of them that quickly and that easily, then put your purse up. You know what I'm saying? Likewise, if you feel like you want to take him next, as you said, that person, this person, and that person was next. He's one of those persons, then put your purse up. Go at 140 and let's make it. Let's make it happen. I would love to see that, because it's for all the marbles. It's going to be a different type of fight out there.
There's so many fights at 140, dog. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, 140 is deep.
It's so stacked, bro. Like, it's so fucking stacked at 140. It's ridiculous, bro.
And they ain't even talk about the Antoine Russells and all these other cats that's on the wing, like waiting, like, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
Because you still got what you call it on the other end. What's my man in Africa? He just licking his chops, waiting for something to come his way. Like, he just waiting. And he a hungry kid too, because he spent a lot of time on the shelf.
I think him and Devin is a fun ass fight.
Him and who?
Him and Devin. Hitchison and Devin Haney. I think that's a dope ass fight.
It's a fun fight. That's a good.
They both technical as a motherfucker. Neither one of them take ridiculous chances, but they both gonna be in there thinking the whole damn time. Like, it'd be fun to see. You know what I'm saying?
We just don't want nothing boring, though.
I don't believe them two will be boring. Even though I don't think neither one of them knocks them out, I think it's still, like, I could be entertained by two niggas boxing as long as they ain't running from each other. How Shakur and Edwin was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind seeing two technical fighters go at it.
See, Richardson, he'll make you pay. He ain't gonna knock you out, but he'll spark the shit out of you each and every time. And then Devin is showing more guts, like willing to stand a little closer and, you know, hit you with.
He did that with Regis. He ain't gonna do that with Richardson.
Nah, it's kind of like fighting in the mirror for them two niggas.
That's why I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want to see it. You're gonna find out who got the better IQ, because ability wise, I think them niggas is even.
Yeah,
style wise, they even.
I think Richardson a little bit more angry though, because you know what I mean, Floyd and them had him waiting, and you know Eddie gave him an opportunity. So making the best out of your chances, like I think that's what's going to drive him more than anything.
Yeah.
Be interesting though.
I wish he'd have stayed with Floyd though and been on the PBC side, because there'd been a lot more fights for him to get into. Him and Gary Antoine could have fought. Him and a couple dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like Hitchison. Did y'all hear when people was talking about him fighting Matias? Did y'all hear the reason why he gave what he said about fighting Matias?
With the hydration shit?
Yeah, I respected it, because I never even thought about it from that point of view, but he made sense. He was like, I don't mind fighting dude, but I want to win a title first, and we can have a unification fight. He was like, I'm not about to. He said, I ain't never did the rehydration 10 pounds. He ain't never did the IBF rules before. He's like, so I'm gonna go take my toughest fight against my toughest opponent, and then I'm gonna do something I never done before in terms of hydrating back. He's like, so I'm gonna come in there different. I can't even tell you how my body would react to that, because I don't know. He's like, if I could get a belt and unify and we don't got to worry about the hydration clause, he's like, I'd fight him. I was like, that's the first answer I heard from somebody about not fighting Matias that I actually respect and can understand. Like, okay, I get what you're saying. You see what I'm saying? Just for the simple fact that he kept the real. He's like, I'm gonna take my toughest fight and do something I never done with my body before I go in there. Like, and I respected that because I could understand it.
See, with him, I think he's only on a 3-fight deal.
With Eddie?
Yeah, I think he's on a 3-fight deal. I don't know if they're gonna re-up him, but I know he did say he had ambitions to be on the All Access. So I think all them kids want to end up with Al because they like, you know, the profile that they've been given, and they all cool with Tank. So they see, like, you know what I mean, life-changing money, and you know, you don't want to ask your homeboy for everything. You feel me? Just give me an opportunity.
Yeah. That's why I want to see what Shakur going to do when his contract over. That's going to tell me everything.
Yeah, unless that's if Bob make it to the end of that shit. But you know what I mean, the handlers that be following behind him, like, you're not gonna. History show that you're not gonna be a mega star fucking with Top Rank. Everybody left there and became, you know, even if what's this kid name? Ryan finds his way to PBC, he's gonna be a crazy star because they're gonna matchmake him properly. But he got that appeal, man.
The only thing about Ryan, that's what you talking about, Ryan Garcia?
Yeah.
The only thing about Ryan, I was saying to somebody, I'm like, somebody was like, how he go from fighting Tank to he not even on pay-per-view? I said, they got to put him back out there and try to make him look good, bro. I don't care what nobody say, bro. He quit in that fight. The Mexicans saw that shit, man. That's you looked at that ref and shook your head like, come on, nigga, let's get to it. Like, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? You stood up right as he was saying. You stood up simultaneously with him saying 10. Like, you made it. And if y'all look, there's something else people don't realize. You know how when the boxer knocks somebody down, they tell you go to the corner? If you look, the ref got his back to Tank. Tank walked all the way up behind the ref, like, giving Ryan that look. If y'all look back at it, Tank is damn near right there staring at him in his face like, nigga, I dare you to get up. I think that's why I believe Ryan quit. I'm like, bro, he knew better than getting the fuck back up. And I was mad because I spent my money and I was there. You deprived me of seeing the knockout that I came to see. I was upset.
See, but they need better marketing, man. Because if you turn that fight around that he just won, the dude he was fighting with was popping so much shit. Like, I don't respect Ryan. He quit on his knees or whatever, and he lost the same way. I'd have spun that and had that all over Instagram, wherever, showing you like, yo, I'm not the one to be played with.
It's another thing I don't like. My bad. Go ahead. My bad. Nah, that's another thing I don't like about Ryan is, bro, you know the only reason everybody's talking about weight draining and rehydration clauses because he cried about it so loud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, you cried about the weight draining and talking about weight bullying, but you just made somebody move up from 35 and didn't even let him weigh in at 140. You made him come up to 143. Like, what type of weight advantage is that? But nobody talks about that.
I just like his personality. Like, he's just a weird dude to me. But, you know, I guess he's from the other side of the world. So, I mean,
I just don't like the crybaby shit. That's my thing. He got a lot of crybaby in him that I don't really like.
What happened with Rolly? They got any update with that kid? He just holding the belt hostage.
I don't know why everybody ain't trying to fight Rolly. That's the sweetest belt at 140.
He a champion in recess or
Rolly
something.
got an exemption from the
Like that.
WBA.
He got what?
He got a injury exemption from the
Champion in
WBA.
recess. Yeah.
Oh, so nobody
So,
actually
right.
holding the belt right now?
Nah, nobody can't fight for it either though.
That's what I'm about to say. Ain't Davies is mandatory?
Yeah, but Davies got to fight Barossa.
Right.
And you know, Rolly holding out for the Ryan fight. He trying to find a way to fight because he want that big payday with Ryan.
I don't know why Ryan won't fight Rolly. That'll speed everything up. You say you want to fight Devin. You say you want a Tank rematch. That's the best way to get it. I ain't gonna lie. If Ryan move and get a belt at 40, with T.O., Devin, and Ryan having a belt at 40, I, as a Tank fan, like I don't think there's nothing wrong because that man don't never cheat me when he get in the ring. I love watching him fight, but I be screaming like, bro, you might have to step up there to 40 and knock these niggas' heads off, bro. Like, you feel me?
Would it be wrong if Tank wanted to get a touch up at 140 and gave Rolly a rematch? Because he was one of them niggas crying about that weight bully.
For the fans, yes. For Rolly, for Tank, no. That's all I'm gonna say to that.
Because he kind of, if he does that, he gets a belt, a legitimate whatever, a non-regular belt at 40, and then he kind of corners Devin like.
Stylistically, Rolly or Pitbull don't do shit for him moving forward. Like as far as giving him a look to get ready for somebody, they do nothing for him. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm laughing with everybody talking about he fought Regis as a lefty. I'm like, Loma might have gave you a better look. I'm like, Regis didn't give you shit to stylistically moving forward like that you could take against a fight like Tank. Take forward to a fight with Tank. That's the only thing why I would knock that is like, unless you just want to jump up to 40 and snatch Rolly's belt, you could sell it to me for that. I would rather see him fight Rolly than Pitbull. I would rather see him go up there and challenge Rolly for his belt, snatch the belt, you know what I mean, and then turn around and then we get the two fights I want to see the most. Because the most I want to see him fight Devin and Teofimo more than anybody else. I think him and Teofimo is the best fight for Tank. I think that's going to, if they all get together, him, Shakur, all of them, I'm not saying it's going to be his hardest fight. I think it's going to be the most entertaining fight for us as fans, is him and Teofimo together. I think it's more entertaining than that.
T.O. and Tank will be wild because you never know which dude is coming outside and he be talking some bullshit on the microphone, but like then he get in there and perform. I don't know how to gauge that kid, man.
Well, this is the thing. You got to look at Tank like the Cowboys or the Lakers. I don't give a fuck what they did against their last opponent. When they get in here with him, they gonna damn sure give it their best performance. You feel what I'm saying? Because you know the whole world watching this shit.
Yeah, I like T.O. though, but like, you know, it's just that. You know what? I really give him an exemption because I really thought something was wrong with him with that cambosis. Like he just went in there trying to take his head off, and I ain't never really see it.
Never seen him do that before, yeah.
So it's like, I mean, it was something really. Everybody else getting exemptions for injury, so it's like, you know, I know because he talk a lot of crap, but
he looked bad against Sandor Martin too, though.
And the Japanese kid, maybe he's just one of them dudes that just don't get up if he don't respect you, like, you know.
Could be. In the extra. Could be. Definitely could be because he looked like a whole different person against Josh Taylor.
He was air walking and high stepping and. I didn't see that one coming at all. I thought Josh Taylor was really going to lean on him and bully him, to be honest with you, because I don't think T.O. is a big 40.
I think that just spoke to his talent and his ability. Every now and again, it shines. I mean, there's sometimes where, you know, him, what's going on between his ears get in the way of that. You know what I'm saying? He always has fantastic talent. He just never ever put it together at times when it really needed to, or when he was going through some things. And that's the thing with him. If he's not feeling well emotionally, it shows in that ring. You can't just put that stuff behind him, go in and handle business, and then go back to it after it's done. So, you know, he just did in that fight. He just styled him.
Yeah. See, he be talking too crazy. He be talking about he ain't make more than $2 million, but he talking about he want 20 and 30 to fight certain people. Like, yo, bro, what we talking about here?
Is it just me, or do it seem like he do not want to fight Devin Haney for nothing? Well, y'all see his energy is different with Devin compared to everybody else. Do y'all notice that?
Yeah, it's always like I offered you the space, and like it's never a communication of like meeting in the middle or something. It's like
Him
yo, I'm
and his
offering.
dad too, though. Like that ain't no
Oh,
accident. Like that's
dad on
concentrated. Like
meds, bro. Dad's on meds. Something wrong with that cat.
I believe it. I definitely believe it. I don't know. Tank ain't after belts, but if he was, I would love for him to go grab Broly's. That'd be the rematch I wouldn't mind. Even though it don't do nothing for you stylistically, I wouldn't mind him snatching that belt. But bro don't want them belts. Cause couldn't Tank automatically make that since he's the champion at 35? Couldn't he press that and make that mandatory?
Especially as the super now that they done elevated him. I think he'd be able to do that.
But I'm pretty sure he could press up and be like, all right. Only reason I can see Tank not doing it is because if you pressing it as a mandatory, then it's like automatic splits that you got to give out. You see what I'm saying? As far as how they split up the purse and shit.
The public ain't going to take that shit lightly though. They gonna be like, all right, if you gonna go up, we only want you to go up for Devin. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Look at what I'm saying though. He gotta get a. My thing is this: if they not gonna fight it, I think they should do this. To tell you the truth, him and Devin, I think they should meet at 137 with no hydration clause. Just meet at a catch weight. Meet at 137 and a half with no rehydration clause and go with it like that. Or meet at 40 and get that nigga a 15-pound rehydration clause the next day. You know what I'm saying? And we're not doing the weigh-in early in the morning. We're going to do the weigh-in at like 5 p.m. You could be 155 at the most. Whatever you blow up between 5 and 9 o'clock, that's you. I would do
I need that shit. I just need it public. I'm tired of this ceremonial shit. Like I want to.
Yeah, that's because Devin been the A side. That's why you ain't seen one since the first Cambosa side, because that's something they doing with their team. They making sure you can't see a skeleton. Because he was looking. I don't know if y'all seen it. They had footage of him going in fadeaway in against Regis. He had his hoodie and his glasses on. I'm like, and I can see his cheekbones through the hoodie and the glass. I'm like, yeah, that boy still look bad at cutting his weight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was aggy. He didn't want to answer nobody questions or nothing. I did see that.
Walk straight past. That ceremonial shit been ever since he beat Cambosa. That's why the second Cambosa didn't have a weigh in. The Loma one wasn't a weigh in, and his last fight wasn't a weigh in, which is bullshit. Because if you gambling, I'm supposed to be able to look at you.
Yeah, get an idea of what I'm betting on. Yeah. Right.
But that got to be them doing that as the A side. Which I ain't gonna lie. If I was Bill Haney, I wouldn't know, because you remember the memes and shit they was coming out with Devin after that first weigh-in with Cambosis and shit. Like I wouldn't want y'all looking at my son like that neither.
Michael Jackson. Yeah, LB3. You still here?
Yeah.
As the honorary Haney and what you got next for us for him, man?
Man, we building up the A side, man. We got
hear that week. Hold on, y'all hear that week? Go ahead.
I mean, you threw me in. You included me. You know what I'm saying? I had to come correct.
Go ahead, my bad.
Nah, he trying to, man. We still building our profile, man, to get onto the level of the gorilla. You know. So at the end of the day, we got to get that. We got to take that Ryan fight. I mean, if he won it, I'm cool with that fight.
He gonna fight Sandor Martin next. Watch. He gonna fight.
Hey, but listen, Sandor Martin. The Sandor Martin is not gonna boost Devin profile. And with a Tank fight or with boxing and business in general, they want common opponents. So it only makes sense for Devin to fight Ryan. Because Sandor.
Who's the A side if they fight? Who's the A side if he fights Ryan? Who should have leverage during negotiations if they really want to make a fight? I understand it's Devin's belt.
If you want to put like this, if they fighting for Devin belt, Devin has more leverage, but Ryan gotta want that belt. You see what I'm saying? Ryan gotta like for instance, the only reason we talking about this fight is because Ryan said he wanted it. Well, nobody was asking for no Ryan and Devin to fight. So at the end of the day, I think 10 million followers. I'm talking around it. 10 million followers. Ryan is the A side. Let's keep it a buck.
Is it an exhibition against Ryan?
To the table. But when we talk about, I still think they should work. Like Brian said, he gonna give him a good deal. He said he gonna get a little nigga a good deal. That's what he said. So that's what
is it an exhibition against Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney? Is that an exhibition?
Not if they do it at 140 for a belt.
It's not an exhibition.
Nah, not at 140. Not if they both can make the weight and fight for a belt.
So even though Ryan been stopped and got a loss on his record now, it was an exhibition when Tank was fighting him. but it's not an exhibition now. I just want to checklist some shit with you Haney fans. That's all I want to do. I'm just going on the checklist, bro. I ain't taking no shot. I'm just keeping score.
I mean, that was. I mean, I'm gonna
it
be
was an
honest
exhibition when he was undefeated and fighting Tank, and they did 1.3 million. He got a stoppage on his record now.
But they said it was the exhibition because they ain't even put the Tank belt on the line. They fought at a catch weight with a rehydration. That's why, they was throwing that out there like that. But
Sugar Ray.
I know it's somebody that's really a neutral party. That Tank is fighting all these dudes at a size disadvantage, and the fact that he's stopping all these dudes is really a testament to how great he is. You know what I mean? But I mean, D, so you ain't rocking with the Devin versus Ryan fight?
I mean, I watch it because I watch boxing. I'm just laughing at the hypocrisy. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm gonna laugh at the build up to that fight. When I hear how Bill Haney and how they build that fight up, it's gonna make me laugh every fucking day. When I hear how great they talk about how the fight this is about to be. When I had to hear them bash Tank fighting him to try to promote them fighting Loma at the same time. Their fight was a month later, so Bill was on a bashing spree about that fight because every time they was talking to them. With the Loma fight coming up, they can't go nowhere without bringing Tank name up, and that ain't even got to be Devin and them fault. That's the reporters asking, the internet people. So they was having to answer a lot of Gervonta Davis questions, and I heard them bash the fight before it happened. And it's comedy to me that 8 months later you trying to fight the nigga, but you should fight the nigga because that'll be a big bag of money. Like I'm not saying don't go make your money, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's funny to me. If I tell you this girl a hoe, her hoe, that bitch is a hoe, don't fuck with she a hoe, she a hoe, she a hoe. And then 3 months later, you see me booed up with her. What the fuck am I? Am I not a clown? I'm just asking, am I not a clown? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's an excellent question.
My bad. I came back to work, so I know that was, I got to kind of answer that. I heard a little bit of it. I'm going to say this to say this. Like, they are using themselves obviously Devin and Bill is using them to build off of Tank. Tank is the face of boxing. So like when everybody used to call out Floyd's name, they're going to associate and attach themselves to the face of boxing, to the dude that ultimately they have to build themselves off of because this is what everybody is looking at. People don't like it. That's just what it is. So for any comments that they make, it's all, and for me personally, it go out one end out the other because ultimately I know they're trying to put themselves in the limelight, or they're trying to put themselves in the view of Tank fans or people that might they trying to play the heel essentially. They trying to, so either you gonna watch him to see him lose or watch him to see him win. And what we've seen with the pay-per-views, he just
don't nobody care.
Yeah, like he not getting the support. See, I think people care. I think a lot of people watch the fight. I just think they stole the fight.
Yeah, so, them Haney fans do everything except buy his fights.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
When y'all see that on the internet, remember I'm the one started that too.
But I mean, if Haney could have probably did some numbers if he got in there with a Hispanic.
He fought a Puerto Rican.
Who, Regis?
Regis is Puerto Rican. That's why I'm laughing when everybody's like, it's too black. Nah, nigga, he's Puerto Rican from New Orleans.
Man, I thought he was Cajun. I didn't know what he was.
If I ain't mistaken, I believe he's Puerto Rican. I could fucking be wrong with it. I'm like 80% sure that nigga's Puerto.
I think he Haitian.
He's something. He's something.
I think he Haitian.
But I'm gonna tell you something, B3. Want me to tell you my honest opinion? I don't think Haney and Ryan Garcia are gonna fight. And I hate to bring up business and boxing, but I'm gonna tell you where they're gonna have a fucking problem. You see, Ryan just did a live the other day to say I'm prepared to make a more than fair offer. Right? Did y'all caught that when Ryan said that the other day? I don't give a fuck about A side, B side. You know where they gonna have their problem is Devin gonna want to fight Ryan at a 50-50 split. And I don't believe Ryan and his people gonna allow him to take a 50-50 split. And that's gonna be a big issue because you can't take a 60-40 from Ryan when Ryan took a 60-40 from Tank and then turn the fuck around and think you could get 50-50 with Tank. Because that's, if you listen to, that's what Bill and them screaming. They either want 50-50 or they want the same amount of money that Ryan Garcia got. You can't take the less than Ryan. You can't. You got to have 50-50 negotiations with Ryan to even be able to come to Tank and them and say, y'all want the same thing Ryan got. If you let Ryan take the bigger half of the pot against Devin, how the fuck you gonna turn back around and come to Tank? Because the whole problem with that fight, y'all, is the splits. I don't think it's the weight. I don't think Tank give a damn to fight him. I think his handlers might don't want him to fight him at 40 with no rehydration clause. But Richardson Hitchens did an interview last week, and he said Tank told me personally, he said he'll fight him at 140 with no clause. Like, he don't care. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if they handlers will let him do it. But the biggest issue gonna come down to the pot of money. And if you don't get 50-50 with Ryan, how the fuck do you think you could get anywhere close to that with Tank?
Damn.
I think that's why Ryan said, I'm willing to make a more than fair option if you want it. And Ryan was like, I'm gonna put it out here if y'all don't take it. You see what I'm saying? So like, even if it's 55-45, which I hate to keep talking about business, but that shit is really what's in the way of all of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
He gotta win the negotiations.
Hey, Remo, that's a great breakdown. And as us Haney-ites, you know what I'm saying, we didn't already calculated all of that.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Hey, D, so when you asked me, you heard me tap dancing around it. You already.
Yeah. Think about that though. He can't let Ryan get 60-40, and then Ryan got 40 against Tank. Like, then what the fuck is Tank supposed to give? Especially if y'all get together. Let's say y'all get together and do 300,000 pay-per-views. That would be a good night, right? That would be great. Y'all definitely ain't about to do no fucking million. But y'all can, if y'all do 300,000, that would be beautiful. But nigga, then you gonna turn around and be like, yo, me and him damn near did $1 million more than y'all. So what do that say about Tank?
All right, so D, so put this out for me. Let me hear what you think about this. Since if that's the route, what would you advise Devin to do in a sense that if Ryan ain't gonna give, if let's say Ryan say, nah, you getting 60-40 with me. So would you be like, okay, let me step away from this and get the Tank fight another way? Because like you're saying, if he lock himself in that agreement with Ryan, Tank gonna be like, oh, he gave you 60-40, I'm probably gonna give you 80-20. You know what I'm saying?
70-30.
Yeah.
I think 70-30 we could get a fight with them.
Right.
And I think 30 is being genuine. Being genuine.
He pushing himself, even though like we don't know the actual splits. The actual splits is probably something that, you know, we as on the Haney side probably be sad about or whatever. You know, just because you know that he really little boy Devin if they really put the numbers up. But it's just, I feel like anybody other than Ryan, I mean, he can't fight Rolly. That's not an option. Anybody other than Ryan, he is still not going to build him to that point to fight Tank. I don't think. I think he's gonna have to take the Ryan fight. I'm gonna be honest with you.
He's gonna have to, and I think Ryan knows that. But not only that, analytically, the numbers wise, why the fuck would Ryan split with him 50-50? And I really believe Ryan.
The only reason he was split with a 50-50 D to keep it, but only reason he was split with him if they see the numbers on any other potential fight like him versus Davies or him versus anybody else right now, because he probably can't get the Rolly fight right now. That's why they even talking about this fight. He's just going to do the 50-50 with Devin just because that's still the biggest payday he can get. And D, prior to Conscious Belief, I don't know none of these dudes personally, but let me say this as a man, as somebody that if I grew up with you and there's not any like real hatred between us, they might put on a front for the media and Twitter and all this stuff, but they in business, they got to be in business together. So in my opinion, I think Ryan probably looking at Devin from that perspective. Like, I done fought this dude 6 times. Devin
I'm pretty sure they cool. I'm pretty sure they cool in real life.
So, but now his handlers, but see, Ryan had to bully his handlers to get the Tank fight. So he probably gonna do the same thing to get the Devin fight. Ryan handlers don't want him to fight Devin. It don't even make sense. You know,
I think, but Ryan handlers is totally different from his legal team. His legal team kind of went after his handlers.
His lawyers is pushing his loop. The Lupe is the one made that fight happen with Tank and him. Yeah, and then the promoters just had to find out.
Yeah, some shit like that.
It's just so happened that he got a good team around him.
Yeah. They said his lawyer Lupe is like one of the best lawyers in boxing. Period. I've heard a couple people say that on interviews.
But they say he an entertainment lawyer, so he wasn't letting De La Hoya hit him with a lot of that back end shit. So De La Hoya ended up getting a flat fee with none of that cash on the back end. That shit went to Ryan and Tank directly.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't go to De La Hoya. De La Hoya got, I think, $6 million. They set out the whole joint, but because he was covered by his entertainment lawyer, he got that deal worked out. Because Ryan is exclusive. He isn't exclusive to DAZN. Oscar is.
Okay? Yeah, and they had to pay the promotional company some money to release him to go over to the PBC too.
Yeah, but I don't know if that came out of Ryan or that came out of De La Hoya.
Who knows? You right about that.
So like I think Devin's best bet would be to take the 60-40 or the 50-50, either or. Because anything outside of Ryan, he still ain't gonna get that amount of cash. And then with Tank, he ain't got the numbers to negotiate anyway. So go get 2 bags. Get one in a possible or one in a little bit. Like, you know what I mean?
Bro, when him and Devin finally fight, they gonna do better numbers, I think, than Ryan and Devin did. Than Ryan and Tank did. Because you letting it boil and simmer and just letting it get ready and everybody waiting to see it. It's like, I think when they finally get together, I gotta feel
they gotta hurry up, man. I'm at the table. I got my knife and fork. I got my bib. I'm ready, man.
You can smell the food coming out the kitchen.
Yeah, but this shit take too long. You know what happens though? You start eating little appetizers. You had your salad. You had your soup. You're like, yo, I don't even want the main meal no more.
Yeah, they in danger of that. But I said this a long time ago on a couple months back on Jay's channel. I don't believe they really want to fight Tank right now. I think they're going to try to wait Tank out to at least like 32 years old, 33 years old. And in my heart of hearts, that's what I believe all of them are going to do between Shakur and Tank. I mean, between Shakur and Devin. I think they're trying to wait him out just to see just the baby slip in that explosiveness, you know what I'm saying? Or just a little delay in that athleticism. Not that he's slow now or not that he's not explosive no more, but just a tad bit. I want to see them fighting their primes, bro. I don't want to see Manny and Floyd all over again. I don't want to see Bud and Earl all over again. You done been in car accident after car accident. Bud's 36. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see that. I want to see y'all rumble. Like I said it on Jay's channel. I'm gonna say it again. If I'm Tank, I would tell them niggas, y'all got a year and a half to get this shit done. I'm not fighting y'all if y'all let me. I'm not fighting you past my 30th birthday. And put some pressure back on them niggas. Like, bro, what's up? Y'all been saying my name for a long time. Let's get to it.
Yeah, but we gotta make it progressive to the point where they can make the fight. So Tank gonna have to concede one thing. And I think that one thing is for fighting at 140. You concede that, but you concede it by making it for the purse. Like, yo, we make it for the purse. So now the purse, if I go at 140, you can't be no more than this weight when it's time to walk in that ring. But it's for the purse. And I'm only gonna be at this weight for the purse. And you on record a long time ago saying that I was too small to even be fighting at 135. So
ain't nobody never do that with Tank. Ain't nobody gonna never actually do it. Why would you? Why would I? Like, you can fuck around and make more money than you had fighting Tank. You fuck around, fight Tank, and make more money than you made your entire career.
To me, this is where it is, though. D, they boxed themselves in when they was talking all that duck talk. Say Tank, don't. Hey, turn that down right now. I'm talking. And all the things that they did to paint Tank as a duck and somebody who's really running from the fight. So you put it out there like that, you got to eat those words now if you don't take the fight, because I'm giving you the fight. And not only the fight, but the chance to make more money than you ever will make in your whole career past this fight if you beat me. And you're turning that down?
Yeah, but they contradict themselves all the time, though. I look, B3. I was asking somebody this earlier today, right? It's a homeboy of mine. He a Devin fan. If it's okay for you to offer Shakur 75-25, and you do it under the basis of he was gonna make way more money than his last 3 fights put together, that's what you say. We don't necessarily know that, because I do think if them two would have fought, it would have did numbers on pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? I don't think him and Shakur was doing no 50,000. I don't think they're doing 1.2, but I definitely think they would have sold some pay-per-views, right? But if it's okay for you to tell Shakur, take this 75-25 and it's gonna make more money than your last 3 fights put together, why the fuck is that not okay for you to take that deal against Tank? Because I know that'll be more money than your last 3 fights put together. Because y'all just got guaranteed 1.5, and I know it ain't no back end money coming in. Eddie'd be lucky if he broke even at the end of paying everybody for that night. You see what I'm saying? So
No,
I
I'm
know
with
you didn't got no back end money coming back. So you made 1.5 for that. Cool. You made $4 million against Regis. Against Loma. All right, cool. I don't know what the last Cambosos. Matter of fact, the last Cambosos was 2.8, right? Say 4 million, 2.8, and 1.5. You mean to tell me taking 25% for Tank ain't trumping that?
I mean, yeah, they got to look at it. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it from my perspective, what you just laid out, yeah, because at the end of the day, but what they're going to do is it still got to make businesses for them. If they can get in a Tank fight and make 10 to 15 million or 20 million more than they ever made, then it's still worth it for the opportunity. But the thing about it is you got to get that offer, and Al and Tank, they got to see that value in Devin and them, because
Hell yeah.
at the end of the day, it's not even a known fact that they even got that type of value, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? So
No, it's a known fact that they don't. Nigga, you did 150 with Loma and double back, and there's 100,000 pay-per-view buys missing, and you arguably had the fight of the year with Lomachenko.
well, the only thing I'm gonna argue with that is that Tank making this shit work with niggas that nobody ever heard of.
That's the point.
So I'm hoping and praying that him and Devin can do, you know what I'm saying, like you said, more than Ryan. Maybe they got to push it out some years or whatever. But I would hope that they could do more than Ryan, the Ryan fight right now. But if it don't do it right now, if it ain't do it when Devin was undisputed at 135 and they didn't even give Devin no offer, then I don't know when it's gonna make sense.
They tried to talk because that was his last fight. They said they was going in a different direction. That's what Steven Espinoza said. I don't know how true it is, but he was finally free.
Got you.
That's what Steven Espinoza said. Tank, when he was about to fight Rolly, he said it right after. He was like, I'm out my contract after this with Mayweather Promotion. He's like, I want to fight you, Devin Haney. You remember that before the Rolly fight? I don't think, how do I word this shit? Like, I don't believe that he don't want to fight the nigga. I just believe he got a smart team around him that understand, like, it ain't even no point. He ain't free right now. Like right now with Eddie, ain't he in like a 3-fight deal with his own right now?
Devin just got a match right with the zone. So essentially, any offer that come over the table, Eddie can match it. He got like a match right for his next fight.
If you really want to fight Gervonta Davis, why in the fuck would you go do business with Eddie Hearn, knowing him and Leonard Ellaby don't like each other like that? Like, why would you go that direct? Like, it be moves that I don't understand.
He can't sit idle though, D. He can't sit idle. You know, obviously, like for instance, what other big players is it? If you can't get the Tio fight, Tio holding on to that belt, you're not gonna go fight Matias, right?
He can't sit idle right now. He can't sit idle right now, but I'm talking about when he made the decision to go that way. After him and Tank was both done with their fights. I'm talking about going back to May, June. You chose to go over towards Eddie, bro.
But like you saying, but what I'm saying is this, and we all know this. If Al and Tank if they not organizing the fight, it ain't even happening. They the A side. So like we know for a fact, Devin did not have a promotional. He not bringing the numbers for them to even take a risk on that fight. So it's always gonna come back down to Tank. Tank is the cash cow. Tank, and the reason is it's not up to him to build these dudes up. So it's really no argument for these dudes to get these fights because they not even built up enough to warrant the fight.
Hold on.
In a lot of these situations.
B3, I think what D trying to say is, if I'm calling your name, I want to see you, and you finally get my attention, and I'm telling you, this fight could be next, and then you go somewhere else and do business, and then still talk my name.
It's disingenuous. It's disingenuous.
He never was serious about it. That's what he's more trying to say. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's disingenuous.
Yeah, you had the space and the opportunity to get it done. You called my name. Now I finally pay you attention. Where it's like, all right, let's get it done, right? you turn around, you go do something else. And now, and the same people that's my handlers don't listen to Fathead, this person and this person is this. And like, it's like you putting so much obstacles in between what we could have just got done this time ago. And you still calling my name. So now I think you bullshit.
The day after the Lomachenko fight, that nigga made a TikTok post with his face and Devin face together. And the shit said, tell him don't run. This is the day after you. This is that Monday after you fought Lomachenko. Like, what more you want a nigga to do?
Yeah,
when y'all both finally free. And I just made them people 1 million some pay-per-views. I could kind of make them do what I want right now. Because Tank is a free agent. People don't realize that Tank doing everything off the strength. That shit is fight the fight with him. He's not under contract. That's the whole reason Eddie and them can even talk about we got 20 million for you. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not signed with a promoter. He got an advisor. That's the only reason why it's legal for them to do that. Yeah, that's the only reason why it's legal. Eddie and them didn't do nothing wrong. Try that shit with a top ranked fighter and see what the fuck happened. You know what I'm saying? But Al is just the advisor and Showtime was the network. You know what I'm saying? That's why Steven Espinoza reached out. Like, yo, this is the network talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they know, if Al and Tank know on they and the shit y'all doing don't show us that y'all want to fight, why are we gonna keep wasting our energy? But y'all keep saying my name and then they keep getting in the internet. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't see. I see the talk, but I don't see the moves being made.
But low key, Tank really need Devin to be his next opponent. Is to keep them numbers where he had them last time. He kind of needs him to keep it in that realm. 700 to 1 million.
I believe that.
I think the only other fighter that can produce those type of numbers would be a Teofimo Lopez.
I think T.O. could get them numbers up with him. And it sound crazy, but I think him and Loma could do numbers. Because I know for a fact now that Loma had 100,000 buyers. I know that for a fact now. Bro, they had the fight of the year and 100,000. It was the same price and everything. Both of them was $60, bro.
See, the only problem with Loma would be is Bob.
No, but what we just naming people that I believe that they could push the envelope.
Oh,
with, you know what I'm saying? Like I believe Loma.
I still want to see that. Want to see that.
Well, I think Loma's a viable player for the fact that many people believe that Loma is better than Tank and can beat Tank, and that he's scared of Loma all these years and he's been running from him.
And so people believe Loma beat Devin. It ain't a lot, but there's a few people that believe Loma beat Devin. So why not? You know what I'm saying? Loma's hot for his next fight, in my opinion. You can fuck it up going to fight Cambosis. You can mess it up going to fight Cambosis.
I want to see
you believe that Cambosis got a chance against Loma?
Hell no, I don't believe he got. I'm saying you can mess up like momentum wise. You know what I'm saying? Like Loma next fight can sell depending on who his next opponent is. But if it's Cambo, bro, I watched Maxie beat that nigga on free TV, bro. I don't care what them judges came back. I watched that fight. I was like, bro, he just lost to this nigga. I watched that fight from beginning to end.
No, facts. And to keep it all the way a stack with you. I mean, you weren't off on the fight between Robson Casasiao and what's his name? Navarrete. Because if it had not been for the knockdowns, your boy would have won the fight. GP, you still here? GP, you still with us? But yeah, Remo, you spot on with that analogy, man. It's the same thing. They call us. They have been disingenuous. All they've been used is to generate buzz around them and what they got going on. You got the opportunity to make the fight. Make the fight.
But him doing that shit, it leaves a disdain for like, all right. So like, I always say the base number is 150 to 200,000 actual boxing fans, purists, right?
Yeah.
But if you piss off half of that, is where you get your 50 from. That's where your 55,000 buyers come from, right there. It's because you done pissed off half of them because your father overtalk out of the realm and they don't enjoy the back and forth. Like it's certain things that people attach themselves to. They go and watch good fighting, but personality matters to a lot of people, especially when it comes to they dollar. It's during the holidays too. There's a lot of factors that come with Devin. I think if his daddy got out the way, he does a good job of keeping his son's name public. But as a man, it's hard to really respect some of the tactics that he really attaches himself to.
Yeah, I agree, and that's the problem that I really have with their camp over there. I like Devin as a fighter, and I believe that off of his own merit, he just deserves to be talked about as one of the best fighters. I mean, boxers in boxing, especially at those divisions. But all the other stuff is just like it's like smoke and mirrors, and I'm not fooled by smoke and mirrors. So all that is just over redundant, and it's time for them to just go on and say, like, look, we either gonna make this fight or we never had intention to make this fight.
I don't even think he has to do that. If he really came out and be like, listen, man, I want to fight Tank, but if the stars ain't lining up right now, it ain't lining up, but I'm still kicking people ass and taking belts. If he came with that approach and that's how he promoted himself, I think people respect him more. Like, I'm really putting in fights where I'm taking people belts and walking off with them. Yeah, I didn't think I would do this and do that. And guess what? I know Tank is the media darling, but I'm a boxer too.
Mm-hmm.
And more people will attach themselves to that kind of mannerism than,
For
poking
sure.
at a dude. Because Tank really don't say shit. That's another thing. He don't talk.
Nah, he don't do much talking.
And now you have his attention. Like you finally got the nigga to pay you mind. Make it happen. See it to the finish line. Shut up sometimes. You go silent and work on the back line. Give us what we want.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the case. Now, if that is the case, and that's the route you go, then that means you also hold to what you ascribe to, and that was going to each division and just making them undisputed. You taking all the belts. So then let's make that be the line of course. Don't go up to fight somebody that ain't got no belt. So now if you go into 47 after this one fight, or these fights that you got lined up, make it be for the person who got the belts. Don't be going for somebody just to get a name on your resume. So that's what I would like to see if they're gonna not fight Tank. But I mean, it's too much opportunity to prove how great you are at 140 to move, unless you just really truly cannot make 140 anymore.
He got room to make his own path in life. Just stop trying to mooch off the next person. Like, hey man, go do what you're doing and show everybody that you're great. Don't tell us about it. Like, people will see and respect. Like, yo, like Regis was alright. He was cool, but we ain't never see Devin look like he looked. Like, you know what I mean? Talk about that. Don't talk about moving to 47. Don't talk about Barrios and Boots and all these other. Like, for what reason? People can't even respect that. Like you just won here. What are you talking about 47 now? Out of nowhere. If Tank is at 35, you moving so far away from what the people want. And that's why the people won't buy into your shit.
Yeah, I agree. Only thing with Tank though, I mean, I see the window for big fights happening at 135 getting narrower and narrower. It's closing, by the day. It's only like very few, and then the other fights that will be big will be the fights that are with the younger folk, so to speak, like the up and coming prospects that are not battle tested but have marked ability.
See, all of them kids, all of them dudes around Devin age. Devin don't even really need to really be talking Tank name because he has a lot of people in that area 140 around his age where he could build a lot of them storylines. Because if he really wanted to lock in with Ryan got enough history with him to make that a storyline as well. But you can't build a storyline with Ryan and then turn around and still be calling Tank. Like, which one you want us to focus and support?
All right, fellas, I'm back.
That's a fair
y'all cooking good.
That's
Appreciate you, T.
Oh, you know, like I said, man, we had an all-star cast, man. We got Big Remo in the house. We had D come up. You know, D, a former boxer. You got B3. B3, one of the few Haney fans that I actually respect. You know what I'm saying? Because he's night, man. You know, he an actual boxer. He a Haney fan.
Yeah, I was listening to y'all.
So you know, I mean,
he a fan. He's not a fanatic.
I took the grandkids to McDonald's real quick.
I mean, you listen to the way he answers things, you could tell like he's using a measure of intelligence with the things he say, because you know what I'm saying. You're dealing with too many variables at play that are unknown and uncertain, especially when it comes with the Haneys, because the Haneys just be throwing stuff out there just to generate buzz.
See what sticks.
You got a lot of stuff within your own, you know, wheelhouse that people will respect and gravitate to. Like Remo said, I'm priding myself on going up and taking people's belts. That can be your stick, man. I'll come in here and I'm taking what you got. I'm the stick up kid. I'm coming up in here, guns are blazers. I'm leaving out with everything you own.
Yeah, I see GP is still with us. Is he still here, GP? I see his name up here. Oh, he must have stepped up, went out. Yeah, just dude didn't come on today. I think his son might be still sick or something.
Something in the air, man. It had me. I was sick too. Last week, I was back and forth. It was normal.
Yeah, no, some people are bad. It's been tearing a lot of people up.
Oh yeah,
man. Plus the holiday.
Hey, but D, man.
Yeah, I'm right. I had a phone.
No, I was just saying, man, thanks for coming up, bro. I know a lot of times you don't be getting up on the panels and whatnot, man, but you got a whole lot of knowledge. Like I said, man, I wasn't even able to watch the fight the one time with Conceição and Robson. I mean, and Naruto. I apologize about that. I'm about to exercise some demons on you.
What fight would you talk about, Thomas?
The Robinson
Shakur fought De Los Santos, that card.
Yeah, on that card, because
I couldn't watch it.
So I was talking to D, and D was breaking down the fights for me, man. And like what he called was actually what happened. He was like, "Yo, man, Robinson really won the fight, bro." And then he said, "Bam, he knocked down, man. He giving him a reason for them to try to take it from him." Then he knocked him down again.
Because you know what, Thomas? Who was he fighting? Navarrete, right?
Yeah, Navarrete.
And Navarrete know he lost because he was too happy to have that draw. You know, he was happy, smiling. You know he lost.
Well, that's what he said. He said them two knockdowns probably gave it a chance for them to not give him the fight, because he said, I still got him winning. And he said, I still got him winning, but they probably not going to give him the win. And sure enough, they announced it as a draw, and everything he had said took place.
That's how you know he beat him, because it still was a draw, even though he got knocked down twice.
That's right.
Yep. My main man, Jay.
Jay Hardcore.
We
doing a little overtime, Jay.
Ain't got nothing but an answering machine. What's good with you, fam? I'm glad to see you.
Just Stu didn't come on, Jay, so we working overtime today. How you doing, bro?
Nah, you know that scene where they play this dun and then somebody came rolling up on the bicycle, then went over there and approached somebody for some money, and then took a chain. That's what my main man CASSPORTS did. He took my man Just Do chain, said it's my chain right now. I'm gonna take this to a frame.
I couldn't do that. Those are big shoes to fill, man.
You ain't never lied.
Yeah. But I got fellas like y'all come up here on the panel and cook, man. I'm doing okay.
Yo, they was cooking.
I was listening. Yeah, I was listening the whole time. Yeah. Sure was. Oh yeah. Then Jay Hardcore gonna spin the block at what, 8? Yes, it's 8, right? Yeah. So everybody went quiet on me all of a sudden.
I'm still right here. I'm just doing some of my fiber right quick. Give me a second.
Okay, it's cool. Yeah. What is it anyway? 5:12. Yeah, I'm gonna get ready to get on up out of here, then, fellas. But I appreciate everybody. It was a great cook. Great cook.
Catch y'all later at J Showdown. I see you.
Yeah. See y'all at 8 in the hangout. And tomorrow morning in the hangout and back here at 2. And I really appreciate everybody for stopping by. J Hardcore. Last one in the door. Sean Mangan. D for the win. Old School. B3. Remo. BN Boxing News. Mike Mazik. Skywalker was here today. Bruce Gas. Boxing Jazz. And more. And more. All that and more. Mike Rhyme, Thomas Hill, and Gregory Pratt. GP was the first one in the building today. Yep. And our resident Devin Haney fan, B3. I had to throw that in there, B3. But we appreciate you, bro. You know, this is tank territory over here, but you're always welcome, B3. I appreciate everybody, man. Good cook today. Good cook. Appreciate you, T Hill, for stepping in there for me. Yep. And appreciate all these local supporters for keeping my small channel going. But guess what? Guess what? You got to be small before you can be big, right? CASSPORTS, y'all. Peace.